Welcome to Georgetown High School. Rob Hipp alongside Galen and Wellnicki, where we will send it over pregame for about 30 minutes or so. The broadcast starting early as it is senior night here at Georgetown High School. So again, we'll let you enjoy the pregame festivities for all the wonderful seniors and their parents out on the field. We'll turn it over to the field mic and David England on camera. Again, this is Georgetown Eagle Baseball.
Y'all thought I'd come put up with you.
Georgetown High School for tonight's game between the visiting Connally Cougars and the Georgetown Eagles. Tonight is senior night and parent night. The GHS baseball program would like to thank all the players and parents for their unwavering support. At this time, we'd like to thank and recognize these senior parents and players for their hard work and dedication to Eagle baseball. We could not have done it without you. Beginning with number 14, Grayson Smith. Grayson's joined by his mom, Kayla Smith, James Barcamontes, George Smith, Mindy Elkins. Grayson plans on attending Glenn Junior College, and he is a 2-year letterman. Number 14, Grayson Smith. Number 23, Cole Moore. Cole is joined by Kimmy Moore and Russell Moore. He is a 3-year veteran, plans on attending Texas Tech University. Number 23, Cole Moore. Number 6, Ryan Knight. Ryan is joined by his mom and dad, Terry and Bruce Knight. Ryan intends on going to McLennan College. He is a 3-year letterman for the Georgetown Eagles. Number 6, Ryan Knight. Number 8, Luke Seaback. Luke is joined by his mom and dad, April and Doug Seaback. Luke plans not going too far from home, just up the road to Baylor University. Luke is a 2-year veteran for the Eagles. Number 8, Luke Seaback. Number 10, Jared Ross. Jared's joined on the field by Candace and Jerry Mahalik and Todd and Michelle Ross. Jared is a 2-year veteran for the Eagles and is going the opposite direction down to Texas State. Number 10, Jared Ross. Number 11, Wesley Gafford. Wesley is joined by mom and dad, Donna and John Escobar. Wesley has yet to make a college determination, but he is a 2-year veteran for the Eagles. Number 11, Wesley Gafford. Number 13, Logan Drake. Logan is joined on the field by Casey and Eric Lambright and Doug Drake. Logan has decided to go to Coastal Bend College. He is a 2-year veteran for the Eagles. Number 16, Caleb Monosmith. Caleb is joined on the field by mom and dad, Holly and Mark Monosmith. Caleb's been an Eagle Letterman for 2 years. Number 16, Caleb Monosmith. Number 25, Hunter Severise. Hunter's joined on the field with mom and dad, Cindy and Steve Severise. Hunter is also yet to decide which college he's going to. He is a first-year Letterman for the Eagles. Number 25, Hunter Severise. Our student trainer, Taylor Black. She's joined on the field by her mom, Shannon Black. Taylor's headed down to Texas State. She is a 4-year Eagle Letterman. Taylor Black.
It's because it was up against. It's because it was up against the.
Student trainer Joey Michael.
Yes.
Joey's joined on the field by his mom Terry Stubblefield. Joey is also a 4-year Eagle Letterman. Joey Michael.
Yeah, the other one is on the field is
Number
fine. This one
2,
is touching the chain
Jared
link fence,
Pierce.
and that's what's got it. Echo sound.
Jared is joined by his parents, Janae and Jason Pierce. Number 2, Jared Pierce. Number 3, Brooks Hancock. Brooks is joined on the field by his parents, Renee and David Hancock. Number 3, Brooks Hancock. Number 4, Reese Grimes. Reese is joined on the field by his parents, Keisha Grimes and Reagan Grimes. Number 4, Reese Grimes. Number 5, Cole Posey. Number 7, Jeffrey David. Number 9, Grant Wood. Grant is joined on the field by his parents, Tammy and John Wood.
Hold it. Don't move now, please. Hold it. Okay. Okay.
Number 9, Grant Wood. Number 12, Jackson Seosin.
Stand by.
Jackson's
please.
joined on the field by his parents,
Look at me
Brenda
and smile.
Seosin and Rudy Jackson.
Don't move. Hold it. Beautiful. Thank you.
Number 12, Jackson Seosin. Number 15, Jack Brindley.
Hello, Judy.
Hello, sir.
Jack's joined on the field by his parents, Judy and Dusty Brindley.
Right there. Look at me. Smile. Don't move. Hold it. Thank you very much.
Number 15, Jack Brindley. Number 17, Noah Thompson.
Stand behind the plate for me.
Noah's joined on the field by his parents, Tracy and Mike
Work
Thompson.
together. Look at me. Don't move. Smile. Hold it. Thank you very much.
Number 17, Noah Thompson. Number 18, Ryan Courtney.
Behind the
Ryan's
plate,
joined
stand
on the
just
field by his
behind the
parents,
plate,
Heather
directly
and Chris
behind the plate.
Courtney.
Move over. Move over just a little. The player. Move over just right behind the plate is what I want. Okay, now you can get together. Okay. Thank you very much. Hold it. Don't move. Thank you very much.
Number 18, Ryan Courtney. Number 19, Zach Whittington.
Stand behind the plate.
Zach is joined by his mom, Stacy Whittington.
Player.
The player.
Yeah, now get close to him.
Yes.
Okay, hold it. Don't move. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Number 19, Zach Whittington. Number 20, Wyatt Childress. Wyatt's joined on the field. His parents,
behind
Jennifer
the
and
plate.
Trent Childress.
Player directly behind the plate. All right, look at me. Smile. Don't move. Hold it. Thank you very much.
Number 20, Wyatt Childress. Number 22, Wesley Dixon.
Yeah, we're all right. Behind the plate. Directly behind
Wesley's
the plate.
joined by his parents on the field,
Come
Amy
forward a
and
little
Brian
bit.
Dixon.
But I just want you directly behind the plate. Look at me. Smile. Don't move. Hold it. Thank you very much.
Number 22, Wesley Dixon. And number 24, Zane Haas.
Directly
Zane
behind
is
the
joined
plate.
by his mom and dad, Lynette and Brad Haas.
Here, right there. Hold it. Smile. Don't say anything. Don't move. Hold it. Thank you very much.
Number 24, Zane Haas. Our statistician, Channing McGee. Joined by our parents,
Stand directly
Michelle
behind
and
the
Mike
plate.
McGee.
You, trainer. Okay? You, the trainer. Right? Or whatever you are. All right. Get together. Thank you very much. Hold still. Don't move. Thank you.
And Riley Baker. Joined by parents, Barbara Baker and Brian Baker.
Okay, stand directly behind the. There you go. All right. Look at me. Don't move. Smile. Hold it. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Eagles seniors and underclassmen and their families.
How are you tonight? Thank you so much. Oh, you're the best. I appreciate it. Perfect. I'm going to video the senior mom. Okay.
Shotgun Willie sits around in his underwear, fighting on a bullet.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks for joining us here for another edition of Georgetown Eagle Baseball live this afternoon on the SHNSports.com broadcast network. It's senior night. The time now 6:30. We'll be back on the air with actual audio and more at 6:50. The cameras will continue to roll, though, and we will continue the action here as we enjoy the pregame festivities. So again, thanks for joining us early tonight for senior night, the last game of the season before Georgetown heads into the playoffs, trying to go a perfect 16-0 here in District 19 5A play. We'll be back again at 6:50 with the pregame and more. SHN Sports presentation of Georgetown Eagle baseball continues. thousands of listeners, laser-focused marketing, and showing a high level of community involvement. Those are a few of many reasons to advertise with SHN Sports. We strive to keep our broadcast as affordable as possible, and your support makes that happen. Please consider advertising with SHN Sports. Email rob@shnsports.com. That's rob@shnsports.com. We have a solution for everyone. This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Hipp Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Hipp Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Hipp Network and SHNSports.com. Hey friends, Rob Hipp here, Director of Operations with SHN Sports. Need a friendly reminder of upcoming broadcasts? We have a simple solution. Join the SHN VIP list today. Stay up to date with upcoming broadcasts, events, and other exclusive content. Visit SHNSports.com/VIP. That's SHNSports.com/VIP.
No, record books is irrelevant to me until the season is over. I go back and look at the record book, right? But I still want you to focus on how did we get here? What changed for us 18 games ago? Because to be honest with you, the first two tournaments, we weren't very good, right? Before you break it out, I do want to say, seniors, thank you. We're not done. So, just thank you. That's all you get. We love you.
Well, a pleasant good afternoon and welcome to another edition, the final regular season edition of Georgetown Eagle Baseball, live this afternoon on the SHNSports.com broadcast network. I'm Rob Hipp alongside my broadcast partner, been all season, Galen Wellnicki, and welcome to Georgetown High School, where tonight it's the Georgetown Eagles hosting the Connally Cougars again for the final game here in 19-5A as Georgetown seeks to go undefeated and win their 18th, now 19th game overall. Galen, Georgetown set for a great one here tonight. Connally would love nothing better than to put some salt on the wound, if you will. There hasn't been a wound yet. They'd like to make a wound and put some salt on it here in this last game of the season.
They would, and they would like to do something to cap what has been a disappointing season for them. They're coming into 5-10, and they went through a string where they were outscored by a very large amount of runs. So, and we probably will not know until late Saturday or Sunday as to who will play in the playoffs. Foster says that it's probably going to end in a tie down there. The odds are that it'll end in a third place tie down there for third and fourth, and they'll probably have to play that off on Saturday, and they could be there for a while. It could be as much as a 3-team tie.
Well, Connally tonight, the visiting team, as they're just trying to get a win here to finish out the season. The season for them has not been what they expected, but overall we appreciate the Connally Cougars. We were there last night and always appreciate our friends in Pflugerville, Texas, and the fine work that they do with the hospitality. In fact, I saw their public address announcer, Mr. Scott Murphy, moments ago as he came down here tonight to support his Pflugerville Connally team. Well, as we look at the 19-5A standings, Georgetown now at 15-0, Cedar Park at 12-3, Rouse at 12-3, and then Elgin holding on to that 4th spot at 9-6, Hutto at 8-7, and then the bottom 4 officially eliminated: Cedar Creek, Connally, Bastrop, and Eastview. We'll send it back down for the pitch now from the parents. That was the first pitch being thrown out by all the parents tonight. Well, and then Joey's actually going to throw out the official first pitch, so we're excited to have him down on the field as well tonight, Galen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you look at it, Galen, Georgetown in perfect position here to finish out the season at 16-0. They're going to have to get through this one tonight. Connally, again, eager for a win here versus Georgetown. Georgetown, as we talked about a while ago, Galen, looking for their 19th win in a row. They already broke a record with 18 in a row last night. And Georgetown in 19-5A, of course, the district champions. But then, Galen, let's also talk about the rankings. Number 4 in the Texas High School poll and number 7 in the Texas High School coaches baseball poll. A pretty phenomenal season for these Georgetown Eagles.
That's a good season.
As Joey threw out the first pitch there. Well, Galen, you've been up here all season with me. Appreciate you being in the booth. It's good to be back at home. What's been your thoughts so far on this phenomenal season for the Georgetown Eagles?
It's been a great ride, and this is a tough district when you've got Rouse and Cedar Park, and then Elgin has played people tough, and so has Hutto.
Well, we'll talk about the starting lineups. Galen, I'll let you go over the Connally Cougars that they'll start here, of course, first tonight in the top of the first. Before we get started, I'll let you go over the Connally starting lineup, sir.
Okay, leading off for them will be the center fielder, Jason Hedges, then followed by the shortstop, Griffin Murphy, the second baseman, Jeffrey Padovic. Padovic, as you remember, caught last night's game, but he's at second base tonight. Matthew McMillan will be at first base. Zach Rosales at third. Mason Mormon, last night's starting pitcher, will be in right field. Sean Rosales will move from first base to the mound. Ian Guthrie will be behind the plate, and Derek Phillips will be in left field.
For the Georgetown lineups, leading off tonight will be the shortstop, number 5, Cole Posey. Batting second, the right fielder, number 20, Wyatt Childress. The catcher tonight, number 23, Cole Moore. In the cleanup position, the center fielder, number 6, Ryan Neitch. Good Neitch, as we call him. And then batting fifth, the third baseman, number 7, Jeffrey David. The sixth batter tonight, the designated hitter, number 13, Logan Drake, who I wanted to mention, had a chance to meet his father, Eric, earlier, and Eric said some well wishes to us. We appreciate Eric as well, and Logan, of course, I've known him for quite some time as he has been dating my girlfriend's little sister here at Georgetown. So Logan, I told him, a very great young man, and always just a very humble young man when I talk to him. So again, Logan tonight in that sixth spot. Batting seventh tonight, the first baseman, number 25, Hunter Savarese. The eighth batter, the left fielder, number 10, Jared Ross. And last but not least, the second baseman, number 8, Luke Seaback. And now the Georgetown Eagles taking the field. Curtis Parker, the public address announcer tonight. And Mr. Howard, who works here at Georgetown High School, known him. He was actually my teacher, I believe, for economics. He's keeping up with the pitches, of course, here in UIL 19-5A, and not only just 19-5A, but throughout the state. The requirement is you can only pitch 110, and then you've got to retire and let someone else take over, Galen. We'll send it over now for our country's national anthem, Georgetown Eagle Baseball on SHN Sports. Will continue in a few moments. A beautiful playing of our country's national anthem. Time now 6:58. About to get started here at Georgetown High School. As a reminder, the corners here at Georgetown Eagle Baseball Field at 323. The power alleys at 385. And center field just a few above that. We've always predicted about 390, 395, maybe 400, Galen. It's whatever you say, Galen, tonight.
723.
If it's 723 and we hit it out of the park, every major league guy will be here wanting someone to come play for their team.
Well, we do have a major league scout in the press box right now.
That's right, Mr. Ron Tinius in the house. We appreciate Mr. Tinius being here as well. Talking about the run differentials for Georgetown, 120 to 28. They've only allowed 28 runs this season. The Eagles on defense have simply been outstanding, and they now lead in that category. Cedar Park allowing 31 runs on 82 that they've scored. Rouse at 123 to 33. Elgin at 118 to 71. So after Rouse has been putting a whooping here later in the season, they now took over. Georgetown was leading, or Cedar Park was actually leading on offense for a while early on, and then Georgetown, Rouse, and Elgin went away with it. And Elgin, for the remainder of this season, led on offense in runs, but now they find themselves to third place. Rouse at first, again with 123, Georgetown with 120, and Elgin at 118. Those numbers really don't mean anything other than that's a lot of runs that you're scoring. And Galen, you're pointing at one. You can talk about that one. That's a tough one.
Connally's given up 116 runs, is by the second most in the district. The most played one more game because they finished their season last week is Eastview with 120.
Well, just about to get underway here.
This is one of those. This is one of those games too where where I know Adam would like to get ahead in this game, so he can play his seniors quite a bit of the time. And he's still going to start the regular pitcher here, but he said he would like to get some of his senior arms in that haven't worked a lot this year. So.
Stepping to the plate from the Connally Cougars, the center fielder, number 20, Jason Hedges.
Wow, you know what I did, Galen, and I've never done this. I wrote the Connally defense on both sides of my paper. Can you believe that I did that?
You didn't know they changed the rules tonight, and they're going to play defense for both teams.
Somehow they're going to,
when they're batting, they're going to play defense.
They're going to clone themselves tonight.
Yes.
Is what's going to happen.
I'll tell you, you're talking about defense. Jason Hedges, who stepped into the batter's box now and is the leadoff hitter, he had a great game in center field for them last night. He made several good catches last night.
Leading off tonight here in the top of the first inning for Connally will be Jason Hedges, who starts on an 0-1 delivery from Georgetown, and we're set here, time at 7:01. The next pitch on the way, on the outside corner and low to even the count at 1 apiece. 1-1 the early count here, Galen, as we're underway from Georgetown High School.
Right now, the wind has not decided to join us at all. The flags are hanging, and I think we've more or less resurrected the Texas flag here. It doesn't look as precarious as it did the last time we were here, when it was hanging half off the flagpole and half in the trees over there out.
They got it fixed, which is a good thing. Of course, on the mound is Grayson Smith for Georgetown. I believe he was our SHN Sports Georgetown Eagle Baseball Player of the Game earlier this season, on 3 balls now and 1 strike thrown to the right-handed hitter, the center fielder, number 20, Jason Hedges.
One thing about this, and Adam pointed it out last night, is that Georgetown had been off for almost a week. Prior to last night's game. So, and he hasn't pitched for about a week, so he's probably a little bit rusty too. Take a little while to settle in.
Catching tonight behind home plate, Cole Moore moves from first over to that catcher position. And on the payoff pitch, off the right hand, and he walks him. So Smith on a 3-2 will allow Hedges to reach with a base on balls. That'll put a man on base. Second in the order, the shortstop, number 6, Griffin Murphy. Not the way Georgetown wanted to start things here tonight.
You never want to walk the leadoff hitter. That's one of those unwritten rules, and you don't want to make the first out at third base.
Again, the right-handed pitch from Grayson Smith, and Connally was showing like they were going to still out there on first. And Hedges steps back. The early delivery here, though, 0-1 on Griffin Murphy. No balls, 1 strike, no outs, base runner on 1 as Smith throws it over to the first baseman. And on first base tonight for Georgetown is Hunter Savarese, if that is correct, Galen.
Yes.
It's the first time we've seen him on first, isn't it?
I think so. Unless it was a late inning player switch. There's it over again. Ooh, that almost got away from him.
Going to be called a ball, 1-1. Yeah, so a lot of change-ups, and we'll go over those as this broadcast goes along, Galen. Pitch on the way here is going to go across, looking at it for a strike, 1-2. Just can't believe I did that. I've never I wrote Connally on both sides of the sheet here. 1-2 delivery. And a base runner going to go back over to first as
he's called out.
Cole Moore was threatening him, and it is called out. So a strikeout looking here, that coming on a 1-2 delivery, Galen.
Hey, I want you to know that we've just been guessing about this most of the year, but I added a new column to our stat sheet today.
Hit by pitch, there you go. We'll go over those as well. Third in the order, the second baseman, number 10, Jeff Padovic. Stands with that right foot down in the lower right quadrant of the box. First pitch on the way, goes across, looking at it for a strike, 0-1.
I think Grayson's starting to zero in on that strike zone a little bit more than they did with the first batter.
Well, of course, Grayson Smith, the pitcher, Cole Moore catching. Hunter Savarese at first base. Luke Seaback at second tonight on the pitch here. This one is hit over a line to center field. Ryan Knight hauls it in for the second out on a line out to center field. Moves us to the cleanup position. The first baseman, number 8, Matthew McMillan. So the count, of course, will reset here. So talking about it, Seaback at second base. Jeffrey David remains at third. Cole Posey, the shortstop. Then another change here at left field will be number 10, Jared Ross. Ryan Knight will stay at center. And then another change, Wyatt Childress will be at right field tonight, Galen. So a little bit of a change up here to see how the defense plays with this new setup here tonight. Kind of excited to see how these guys are going to play at left and right.
I think this is the first time we've seen Jared out in the outfield.
I believe so.
If he has, it's been a late inning substitution in one of the games earlier.
Earlier this afternoon in Austin, Texas, 91 degrees it got up to. But right now, though, here in Georgetown, things have cooled off to a comfortable 82. The wind southeast at 9 miles an hour. And partly cloudy skies here at Georgetown High School. The first pitch on this at-bat is going to be a ball, 1-0 on Matthew McMillan.
That 9 miles an hour is not having much effect on the flags out there.
Yeah, not at all. Again, base runner on first for Connally is Hedges, who reached on the 3 after the 3-2 walked. Next pitch on the way is going to be too far outside of the left-handed hitter. The count at 2 balls and no strikes on Matthew McMillan. Rouse tonight back at home, also in 19-5A as they close out the season on senior night. All of our broadcasts are senior night broadcasts tonight on the network. Bastrop at Rouse, where last night, as this pitch goes way too far outside for a 3-0 count. Wanted to mention Jared Southard, the UT commit, last night threw a no-hitter, pitched a no-hitter, and that was a great game for Jared Southard. Carl Schoening and Michael Francis were on that call. Brad Tillery has the call tonight on SHN Sports. 3-0 delivery. This one a swing and a miss for the third out. So
no, that's just the first
strike.
strike.
Never mind. It's the first strike. Thank you, Galen. I got ahead of myself, man.
Hey,
I was looking at it reversed.
Hey, there's 9 players out on the field that would agree with you right now. I would like that.
The fans looked up, and I think some of them were angry with me. 3-1 delivery. This one across the plate, 3-2. I just got ahead of myself, Galen.
You're like that guy at the Southwestern game the other day that was calling all the plays just exactly right.
Hey, it worked out great for us. The payoff pitch from Grayson Smith. This one is going to be the first one hit foul tonight over the Georgetown Eagle dugout. The count remains at 3-2.
Let's not let this batter get away here. Let's get him out. The umpire is wandering around out there.
Three-two delivery. Again, payoff pitch to the left-handed hitter. McMillan trying to keep it alive, too far outside.
That's a walk.
That will walk. So Hedges will move over to second. McMillan over to first on the walk. 2 walks thrown here, bases on balls, and we move to the 5th in the order. The third baseman, number 4, Zach Rosales.
The first of the 2 Rosales in the lineup.
Back to a right-handed hitter. The pitch on the way, and boy, that one over his head. And runners here on the wild pitch. Going to try to get down. Did he get him on a 1-5 for the out? Did they say he tagged him, Galen?
No, he said it's safe.
Safe, and that was a close one.
Yeah.
It was a good effort there by Cole Moore over to Jeffrey David, trying to get a 1-5, but instead on the wild pitch, both runners will advance. So Hedges will go over to third, and McMillan will move over to second.
And we've already got Coach Brindley going out to the mound for a little conference here.
The count at 1-0 on Zach Rosales.
Just a couple conversations out there. Copo was talking to the base umpire, and we had a 3-person conference on the mound. You know, off to a nice, leisurely, friendly start out there. Everybody's communicating.
Just wants to make sure that everything's going as Brindley, he was laughing. He was walking off doing some play calls, and he was joking around, had some fans, and I think some of the Connally guys laughing over there. Brindley doing a bunch of gestures as he walked off as a joke. 1-0 here, the count. Pitch on the way, and this one across the plate, looking at it for a strike, 1-1.
Well, so far that's been a good adjustment then out there, because that one was right down the heart.
So again, as we update the scoreboard, runners in scoring position on 2 and 3, and Grayson Smith in a 1-1 versus Zach Rosales. He's trying to get the retire and not allow any to come in and score here, Galen, in the top of the first. Right-handed delivery on the way, swing and a miss, got him for the second strike, 1-2. Beautiful night for baseball. The clouds keeping it a little cool here. And boy, there for a minute, Smith was going to try to toss it over to Luke Seaback and try to get a 1-4 pick on second. And Matthew McMillan able to get back in time.
I think they were trying to decoy the runner on third, trying to get him to run home.
Pitch on the way. This one too close inside. Had to inchworm his way out of it. We've got 2s across the board, Galen.
Yes, we do.
Deuces?
Deuces Wild. We're heading to the casino.
The bus is leaving Bells in Georgetown. Make sure you get over there. 2-2 delivery. On the way, this one tipped foul into the back of the net as Galen and another fan held up their hand.
I would have had that in the net. Either that or you'd have had it right between the bridge of your glasses.
As one of my favorite broadcasters in the NBA says, right between the eyes. 2-2 delivery. Too far outside. Payoff pitch, 3-2 upcoming.
We don't want to walk the bases loaded. Usually nothing good can happen when you walk the bases loaded.
Three-two, and got him looking for the third out.
And he
no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left on base, Galen, as we go to the bottom of the first. We'll keep it right here.
And he knew it, too. He just kind of just walked off. Oh, 2.
That'll take us to the bottom of the first inning. No runs yet. Georgetown first at bat Leading off for the Georgetown Eagles in the bottom of the first will be the shortstop, number 5, Cole Posey. Then the right fielder, number 20, Wyatt Childress. And then third in the order, the catcher, number 23, Cole Moore.
I think Adam is pretty, Coach Foster's pretty well happy with the switch he's made in the lineup, moving Posey into the leadoff spot and Wyatt into the second hole.
Well, Galen, as we look here before Georgetown takes the field, talking about their offense, simply phenomenal this season. We mentioned it earlier, 120 runs so far in the season. They have scored 226 runs.
That's for the whole year.
That's the entire. What we're talking about on the other is district play, but in the entire year, 226. Looking at their stolen base percentage, 772. You're talking about 132 steals in 171 attempts. Their home run frequency, not really knocking them out of the park this season, though. One every 66, about 66.3 trips to the plate. Neitch leading with 33 runs, Posey behind him with 25. And then you talk about Ryan Neitch. He is well on his way, closing in on 30 stolen bases. He picked up 2 more last night at 27 on the season. Wyatt Childress behind him with 19, and I expect to see more of those tonight.
He's also leading in hit by the pitch with 11. And Cole Posey is right behind him, and so is Theosin. They both have been plunked 10 times. Actually, Theosin's been plunked about 12 times, but they took 2 of them away the last.
Cole Posey, his 84th at-bat of the season, 22 hits, 21 RBIs, averaging 265. As Copo tries to get things rolling here for Georgetown on the offensive end. First time tonight, bottom of the first inning. On the mound for the Connally Cougars will be number 18, one of the Rosales brothers, Sean Rosales, a right-handed pitcher. The first delivery too far outside, 1 ball and no strikes to Cole Posey. Rosales with the right-handed delivery.
Ooh.
And
Copo just got hit by a pitch.
he did get a hit in the NCAA. That wouldn't have been one because he didn't make an attempt to move out of the way of it. Cole Posey will reach on a hit by pitch. And we saw one of those last night where a player got hit and they did not allow it because he didn't move out of the way. So here in the high school, I think sometimes they're still trying to decipher what do you constitute as a hit by pitch.
Right. You know, that moved him into a tie with Knights, though, for the team lead at 11 each. It's not I don't think it's a team lead you want to.
Brings up the right fielder, number 20, Wyatt Childress. Wyatt Childress, his 57th at-bat, averages 268. He's brought in 11 runs this season. Rosales, a little bit of sun in his eyes. The left field starting to get saturated in shadows. There's still some sunlight out there in the rest of the field, though, Galen. Pitch on the way here. Tried to get it curved back in for a strike, but it's going to go too far out. 2 balls and no strikes here to start things for Wyatt Childress.
I'll tell you what, the outfield is playing really shallow. If he could get some good metal on this, they could run. You know, Wyatt's got good speed and so does Coe, so they could run for quite a while.
Rosales throwing it over to his first baseman, Matthew McMillan, trying to keeping the base runner honest. Posey out there. We'll go over that Connally Cougar defense tonight. Rosales on the mound, behind home plate, catching Ian Guthrie. First base, number 8, Matthew McMillan. Second base, number 10, Jeffrey Padovic. At third base, number 4, Zach Rosales. Georgetown going to steal, and he should get there in time, and he does for the stolen base. Cole Posey now picking up his 18th stolen base of the season, and Georgetown looking good here early on offense.
There was very little chance. There's very little chance they would have. There's very little chance they would have caught him on that because the throw didn't have much authority on it at all, and it was wide. Got a runner on second.
Got the dugout mic going here tonight, as you can hear in the Georgetown dugout. The count here 3-0 on Wyatt Childress. And Cole Posey did advance in that stolen base, now sitting at second. No outs here. Bottom of the first. Georgetown trying to get the first run. That pitch looked good, Galen, but they're going to say that it was a strike. 3-1.
Umpire setting up over the catcher's left shoulder here.
3-1 delivery. This one is too
Ball
far
four.
out, and runner will advance over to third. You count that as a stolen base
Yes,
on
you
Cole
do.
Posey.
Yes, you do.
He stole over there to third on that. Childress will be at 1 on the base on balls. And now, if you look at those stolen bases for Cole Posey, he just had 1. He is now at 19, Galen.
They caught them just in a situation of very lazy defense. They didn't pay any attention to him going down.
Well, that'll bring up third in the order. The catcher, the power hitter, the left-handed hitter, number 23, Comore. Cole, his 88th at-bat, 36 hits on the season, brought in 31 runs, averages .414. This would be a good time for him. He struggled last night. The pitch on the way is Georgetown going to try to get the steal, and he'll get there in time for the steal. Another stolen base, this one for Wyatt Childress. Georgetown already with 3 stolen bases, and Childress now going into the 20 mark on the season with 20 stolen bases. Runners move to 2 and 3 for the Eagles. Cole Moore in an 0-1 count. That last pitch was a strike to Cole Moore.
Well, I tell you what, they got a big gap between the left fielders playing straight away and the center fielder shaded toward right.
The next delivery, too low for a ball, 1 strike. Again, no outs here, Galen, and Georgetown in a good position for Cole Moore to get a lick on this one and knock it over that 700-foot center field that you talked about a while ago.
Yeah. People are over
Just
there,
kidding.
People are out there right now taping their windows.
1-1 Rosales delivery.
Hello.
Low again, called a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike.
I'll tell you what, he's not getting a break on the low calls tonight.
Two-one. This
Ooh,
one hit out
that's
to right
gone.
field, going deep down,
That's
and that
gone.
one will bounce in front. It'll bring in 2 runs. Cole Moore chasing around to second, and he will stand up at second. That brings in 2 runs. Galen, he laced it to right field, right in front of the 323 mark. He almost had a little oomph to get it over, but hey, we'll take 2 runs. We would have liked the homer, but we'll take 2. Cole Posey will come around and score. Wyatt Childress will come around and score. And Cole Moore with the double standing up for Georgetown.
I'd say that only missed by about a foot of going over, or less by going over the fence. Noah Thompson's running at second base as a courtesy runner.
Pinch runner?
Courtesy runner.
Courtesy runner for, Cole Moore is the catcher.
Yeah,
you said it's Noah Thompson out there?
Yeah, number 17.
Bring up Ryan Nitsch back to a right-handed hitter for the Georgetown Eagles.
Ooh, that's a pass ball. It went right through the catcher.
Yeah, that one did go right through the catching mitt of Ian Guthrie, and Cole Moore will advance to third on the pass ball, on the peanut butter, Galen.
Yeah.
That's our own call. That's our own terminology.
I didn't realize we ought to come up with a whole dictionary for the playoffs.
Well, someone had to come up with all this stuff, like ducks on a pond and all that, and I'm sure the first time people heard that, they probably thought it was ridiculous. So, and now a lot of people say it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just call that the peanut butter. Because, if you had peanut butter on your glove, it would go right through it.
Right.
So that's the peanut butter. Pitch on the way here. Clips in for a strike on that corner. 1-1. Good pitch there by Sean Rosales.
I know you oil your gloves for maintenance, but I've never heard of anybody putting peanut butter in their glove, though, honestly.
Well, those peanuts are oil in a way, I
Right.
guess, right?
Yes.
1-1. Swing and a miss on this one, Ryan Goodnight. He'll go 1-2. Appreciate our SHN family here tonight. David England back on the field mic, as well as Cole Smith operating our box camera. Nathan Height, our technical director. Thanks for joining us here on SHN Sports. 1-2 delivery, Rosales. Too close and low inside. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tell you what, he better not put one of those slow-sitting ducks over the plate, because if we're going to use the term duck, because that ball came in. That ball would have been, if it had been over the plate, it would have been very easy to hit.
2-2 delivery. This one over to left field. It is going deep. Chasing it down is Derek Phillips, and Phillips will have it in the left hand of his glove. But that will be a sacrifice fly as runner will come in and score Cole Moore. So a sac fly by Ryan Neitch out there to left field for the first out. That will bring in, though, and give him the RBI. That will bring in
Noah
Thompson, who was running for Cole Moore. Moves to the fifth in the order, the third baseman, number 7, Noah Thompson.
See, we got one out now, right? Yep.
This one tipped off the back of the bat on the swing, 0-1.
And the umpire's going back and retrieving it himself.
Time is called here as Jeffrey David steps back. Rosales steps back on the rubber with that right foot. Just a little to the left on the left side of that rubber there, Galen, is where he stands. 0-1 delivery, too far outside. We'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, here in the bottom of the first, 1 out. Nobody on for Georgetown, but 3 runs scored so far in this inning. All 3 of the leading lineup for Georgetown scoring tonight, Galen. Next delivery. This one across on the plate. Good little changeup pattern there, 1-2. Looked like a changeup to me, Galen.
I'll tell you what, we've gone 23 minutes, so we're still not out of the first inning yet. So.
Next delivery.
Ooh.
Too low. 2-2 evens things back up here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Neitch for Georgetown. This is his 90th at-bat now, 31 hits. This would be a good time to get 32. He has a good percentage, though, at bat at .348. 2-2 delivery. Neitch pops this one up into foul territory, and it may be catchable. No, at the last minute, it bangs right on top of the roof where David England is under.
I beg to differ with you, but this is probably Jeffrey David at the plate.
Oh, beg your pardon. Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you for correcting me, Galen. I looked up one. Now the count. What happened there?
He fouled it off.
I'm about to say.
Because
yeah, he's in a 2-2. There we go. I was just reading that wrong. Thank you, Galen. I apologize for that, folks. It is Jeffrey David. I was talking about Neitch moments ago. It's because I was talking about him before the game. That's why. 2-2 delivery. And that one did hit him, but it's not going to be a hit by pitch because he didn't move out of the way of it. 3-2.
Macho Man, he didn't even flinch on that one. That's a testimony to how soft that ball's coming up there.
It's a cotton ball being thrown. Tip foul here. The count remains full at 3-2. I still wouldn't want to get in front of it, Galen. I'm not discrediting Rosales. So as we talk about it, Jeffrey David, this is his 89th at bat. It was close enough. 89th at bat, averaging .352. He's brought in 14 this season. Payoff pitch. And that was a late one, but called him looking for the second out and the first strikeout by Rosales. 6 in the order, the designated hitter, number 13, Logan Drake, the hitting sensation. He has slowed down, though. He's under 400 now. Remember, at one point, Logan was over 500 on the season. His 44th at-bat, 17 hits. He's reached second 3 times, brought in 14, averaging .395. A hit here would put him back over 400, Galen.
Yes, it would.
Again, nobody on. Bottom of the first 2 outs. Georgetown leads 3-0. Pitch on the way, way too far outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Hope you're enjoying, again, the new SHN scoreboard that we've been using this season. Make sure that it's not covering up too much of the action. Pitch here, Logan late swing. This one's going to go way foul off the third baseline and over the fence. And the count remains at 1-1. Looking at Georgetown hitters, Neitch leading the team with 5 home runs. followed by Cole Moore with 4. And then only 3 other players hitting here in district play: Cole Posey, Jackson Siosen, and Noah Thompson. Right-handed delivery. This one again swung and hit foul way behind us, and the count at 1-2.
Well, these stats here are on the full season, on the full 32-game season. They're not just.
These are, yeah, these are the 32, not just in district play.
Because the other 17 games count too, as far as the statistics go.
1-2, Rosales delivery. Grounds this one over to the shortstop and trying to get there in time, and he does get it to his first baseman in time. Logan Drake out on a 6-3 as Griffin Murphy fumbled it around a little bit, Galen, but able to regain it and threw it over to Matthew McMillan for the 3rd out.
He kept the ball in front of him, and that's the key thing to do. We got 3 runs on 1 hit.
Again, as Galen just said, 3 runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and nobody left on.
Yeah, it took the first 4 batters, actually, and the first 4 hitters in the inning. 3 of the first 4 hitters in the inning did not actually get an official at bat. We had a hit batsman, a walk, the double, and then the sacrifice fly. So.
Top of the 2nd we go. Georgetown again leads 3-0 versus Connally here at Georgetown High School. 6 in the order leading off will be the right fielder, number 11, Mason Moorman, followed by the pitcher, number 18, Sean Rosales, and then the catcher, number 16, Ian Guthrie. Again, if you're out there listening, we'd love to hear from you this afternoon. Feel free to join us by text message. Let us know how we're sounding. Let us know if you've got a shout out. The SHN fan line is open at 512-522-9105. Again, that's the SHN Sports fan line. Send us a text to 512-522-9105. That pitch was close to being a hit by pitch, and
He just told him to take his base.
He did. And maybe
Nope.
did he not want it? Said it kind of grazed off of his arm, and the Connally batter there, Mason Moorman, was waiting. He's like, well, hey, it kind of hit me. And called the ball 1-0. Delivery. This one did hit him. And in the NCAA, that would have been a hit by pitch because it was so fast you couldn't get out of the way of that one, Galen.
I definitely couldn't have.
7th in the order, the pitcher, number 18, Sean Rosales, now at bat for the Connally Cougars, the pitcher. Well, a bittersweet night here as this will be our last video broadcast of the season, Galen.
Yes, it will.
Right-handed pitch here, too close in, and thank goodness for that wall as it bounced right back into the hands of Georgetown catcher Cole Moore. If that would have been at Connally, that would have been a wild pitch there.
It would have been right up there.
And it would have been a second base run over by Mason Moorman. 1-0 delivery. This time knocked Rosales right near the neck, and Grayson Smith struggling here. Purely unintentional, but my goodness, Grayson does not feel good about that.
Here comes
So back-to-back hit by pitches, and that may be it for Grayson Smith. We'll see what they do here, Galen. I don't know if you'd pull him that early. Maybe give him another chance here.
I think they're not going to pull him because Brinley's out there. If they're going to pull him, Adam would have, Foster would have come out.
Again, no outs. Runners on 1 and 2 now after back-to-back hit by pitches. Rosales, the latest recipient of getting a tattoo. And then Mason Moorman will advance over to second. In the bullpen for Georgetown, there is a pitcher warming up. Just got confirmation from Georgetown. And it will be number 12, Jackson Siosen, as we have it now on our bullpen cam. So Siosen is getting warmed up in the bullpen as we speak.
Still the plate for the Cougars, the catcher, number 16, Ian Guthrie.
Galen, that'll bring up the 8th in the order, the catcher, number 16, Ian Guthrie. The pitch on the way to Guthrie is going to be a strike. So the talk helped. Grayson Smith throwing one.
Both times the first pitch after the mound visit was a strike, a very definite strike.
Runner trying to take off there, and Grayson Smith looking back over to Copo at second. Keeping those base runners honest tonight. Georgetown not allowing any stolen bases yet. They've got 3, though, on their offensive end. An 0-1 delivery. This one over to the second baseman. Chasing it down is Seaback and trying to get over to first. They didn't get there in time, and that is runners will advance. That's going to be an error there on Luke, I believe, an E4. Did he get one of them out, Galen? Hold on.
Yeah, the guy going to second was out. The run from third scored. The run on second scored.
Yeah, so second came around and scored, and then Rosales reached. That's an E4, Galen.
Yeah. That was Guthrie that reached, I think. On the air.
So there should be runners at 1 and 2 now, and there is. Did Rosales stay at second? Is that 18 out there, Galen?
Nope.
That must be a courtesy runner then for Sean Rosales, number 1 courtesy running. Order here is Derek Phillips, and Phillips hits it foul. Early count 0-1. So Mormon is the one that came around and scored.
I think we've got a pinch runner for Guthrie, because Guthrie reached on the air and went to second. And then
okay, I got confused. I apologize.
They forced Rosales at second.
So Rosales is out for that one out. This one hit over right field, and an error out there now in right field is going to bring a runner over to 1 and 3.
That's a single, because he would have advanced anyway to third.
He would have, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all over the place, man. There's too much floating around tonight, Galen.
If he would have gone another base, that
would have been an error.
Yeah, because he would have advanced on that one. He had to hold up a little bit.
So help me out here. Phillips is at 1. Rosales was out for the first out.
Right.
And Guthrie is now at 3. We move back to the top of the order, Jason Hedges. Pitch on the way here. Grounds foul.
I think we got a runner for Guthrie, number 1,
Villarreal,
yeah. Well, he could be a courtesy runner because Guthrie was the catcher. So he's a courtesy runner for.
Talking about Guthrie, right?
Yeah.
He has Villarreal. If that's number 1, I believe it is.
Yeah, that's.
Next pitch on the way here. This one hit out to right field, trying to chase it down, and that will be another base hit. Coming around to score. Runners will come around. Rounding the bases we go. And sliding, going to get there for the run, Galen. You're going to have to take over, Galen. I'm sorry. I had too much going on today. Take over for me if you don't mind, partner.
Yeah, that's a 3-3 game right now on a triple. It's a triple over the right fielder's head. We got stepping in as Jeffrey Padovic. No outs.
It's 9 versus 1. Here we go.
1-1. One and two, fouled off to the right, kind of a dribbler. Padovic steps back in. Counts at 1 and 2. Yeah, it's 3 and 3. 4-3, first out, and they're ahead now. That scored a run. ground ball to shortstop 6-3, and Murphy came in on the play with the lead run, and Connally's now ahead 4-3. It's one out. Matthew McMillan steps in. Actually, I'm off of one. This is Peridot is up. I missed a player in the lineup too.
The only one that you need, and you just go here if it's never working. You go over to advanced properties. No, that's not it. All right, cool. As far as anything else, so I'm not frustrated with you. I just had a really bad broadcast.
That'll be a good base hit to the right field. Brings up the first baseman, number 8, Matthew McMillan.
Matthew McMillan stepping in. Runner on first. Low, ball 1. 7th batter of the inning. Whoa, swung it away outside pitch. It's 1-1. Runner broke. It's now stays at 1-2. Cougars trying to go up by 2 runs here with 1 out. Two and two. Pitch comes in, fouled high and far off to the right.
Well, Galen, thank you for helping out there in a few moments. Got a text message here saying, please stay current on your scoreboard strikes. You need a helper. If someone wants to volunteer to help, come on. I'll gladly take that. It's you got a lot of things to keep up with, and struck him out swinging there. Finally, the 3rd out, Galen. I'll let you break that one down. As always, we appreciate all of our listeners, but you got to understand that, you know, sometimes we run into a few things, and had to help out with something there for a moment. So we'll keep up with it as best we can. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast tonight. But, boy, I'll tell you, in that inning, Galen, Connally looking like a new team here, leading Georgetown 4-3. I'll let you break it down.
4-3, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. So we're in a hole here after 2 inning and a half. Well, we've got a guest in the press box right now. Todd York, the athletic director of the Georgetown Independent School District, is now on hand in the press box.
Galen, let's go back to that second inning real quick.
Okay.
And let's run down who scored in that second inning, if you don't mind going over that.
Mason Mormon got hit by a pitch and scored. Sean Rosales got hit by a pitch and he was retired on a force. Villarreal was the pinch runner for Guthrie, who got out of the air. He scored.
Okay.
Derek Phillips singled and he scored. Jason Hedges got on and with a triple, and he was the one that scored Phillips and Villarreal. And then there was a 4-3 on Murphy, a single by Paradell, and then the strikeout for the third out on McMillan.
So Padovic had a hit down there.
Yeah. Yeah, I unfortunately got off a place on the hitting too. I had to go back and correct my book.
We're working through it here. Bottom of the second inning we are. Georgetown back at bat now. Again, thanks for your patience and joining us here tonight on SHN Sports. Hunter Savarese swung at that one, the count 0-1. Again, appreciate all of our listeners joining us. We had a few technical difficulties and doing the best that we can here tonight. We don't have many of those. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes and a lot of hours that are spent that sometimes it's hard to see what's going on. This is going to be a base hit out to the left power alley, so after a swing and a miss, Hunter Savarese will reach over to first. Good job there by Hunter.
He kind of golfed it out there.
That'll bring up the left fielder, number 10, Jared Ross.
So a hit for Georgetown, and that will bring up the left fielder, number 10, Jared Ross. Here in the bottom of the second inning we are. Thanks for joining us. Rosales, the pitch on the way. Georgetown going to try to steal over to second, and he's going to get there. So Savarese picking up the steal, and that is, he doesn't have many this season. So good job there by Hunter. Jared Ross on a 1-0 count.
Tell you what, they're going to run on him all day. If that's the two throws I've seen, is if the catcher's going to throw like that, they're going to run on him all night.
Delivery here too far to the outside, 2-0.
He just, the way it looks like right now to get back in this game and get back on top is just to play your regular game. Put the ball in play.
Two-0 count here, Rosales, with the sun starting to set behind us here at Georgetown High School. Right-handed pitch too far, and that's a wild pitch is going to advance Savarese over to third.
Right now, in this game, at this point in the game, it's kind of like Georgetown last inning. Their biggest enemy is themselves. For Connally, is it themselves?
Yeah, and talking about it earlier, again, Connally trying to, they would love nothing more than to get a win here on Georgetown's home field to end the season. Pitch on the way here, pulls back, but it's a strike looking. 3-1, the first strike of this at-bat.
Ross digs in the plate. Of course, that's as close as you can come to really digging in on artificial turf.
This one going to be hit over to right field, and chasing it down for Connally in the sun is Mason Mormon for the first out.
And that's a sacrifice fly that's going to tie the game at 4.
Was going to mention that as Savarese comes in. Sacrifice fly out to right field, and Georgetown tying things back up here. That'll bring up Luke Seaback here on the one out. Bottom of the second we are, nobody on. Luke Seaback, his first at-bat, looking for the bunt and places this one, but it goes foul behind him off the third base line, 0-1. A 1 delivery, Hits this one on a late swing, and that will be a base hit. Galen out to right field. You talk about that as he almost thought about not swinging at it, then let it go through, and that's a base hit there for Luke Seaback. Moves us back to the top of the order, Cole Posey, who is 0 for tonight. He was hit by a pitch, but eventually able to come around and score after 2 stolen bases. And then you remember Cole Moore with that double brought in too. And Cole Posey back at bat now for Georgetown.
Got another possibility here of a big inning.
Rosales looks over to McMillan. Again, bottom of the second, 1 out, 1 on for Georgetown. Cole Posey going to try to help advance his runner into scoring position. Again, Rosales looking for the pick at 1-3. Base runner safe back at first. Pitch on the way. This one grounds over to Rosales, and he's trying to get there in time, and he barely does, Galen. And Seaback will advance over to second. Rosales will have Cole Posey out at first on a 1-3.
And that is not a sacrifice.
Nope.
Although Rosales almost sacrificed the out. They're juggling it around.
2 outs now. We are here in the bottom of the second inning. We're all tied up at 4 apiece. Thanks for joining us. Always our true honor and privilege to bring you Georgetown Eagle Baseball here on SHN Sports. Apologize again earlier for a little technical difficulty that we were trying to remedy in the background. Folks didn't see it, but there's a lot of things, again, that go on that sometimes you don't see and that we've got to take care of to keep everything flowing. This pitch too close inside, 1 ball and no strikes on Wyatt Childress, who is 0 for tonight. He reached on a walk and a stolen base and came around and scored that second run for Georgetown.
That ball, the way it curved in there, looked like it was going to hit him.
Georgetown in scoring position is Wyatt Childress. Hit here could bring him in. This one popped way up into the air to center field. Moves over to left center field. Hedges going to try to get under it. And just shy of the sunlight, able to pull that one down in center field on a fly for the 3rd out in this inning. And as we look at it here, Georgetown scoring 1 run on 2 hits for the Eagles. There were no errors and 1 left on base. We're through 2, top of the 3rd. Upcoming, we'll keep it right here, Galen. A good inning for Georgetown to tie things up as Connally went rocking and rolling.
Siosen's coming in.
That is Jackson Siosen taking the mound now for the Georgetown Eagles.
We can't do video.
Jackson Siosen on the mound for the Georgetown Eagles, wearing number 12. We appreciate everybody tonight, but I tell you, this is the night of interruptions. Goodness gracious.
Put a sign up at the window that says out to lunch or something.
We appreciate our listeners, but sometimes folks don't realize we're broadcasting, and we appreciate them. We're not saying anything bad, but we are in the middle of a broadcast, and that's the way it goes a lot of times. Well, Galen, Georgetown ties things up there in the bottom of that second inning. The gentleman was asking, are we going to broadcast the playoffs? Absolutely, but due to UIL and financial things that have to take place for that to happen, we won't be able to do video in the playoffs. We have to buy the broadcast rights, and be honest with you, those broadcast rights aren't cheap in the playoffs. That's why not many folks do them until you see it in the state finals or in that state championship, Galen.
In some of the richer schools, you might see it in the regional championship games.
McMillan was out in that last inning. Did he strike out or what happened?
He struck out.
He struck out. So leading off should be Zach Rosales.
We hope so. We hope I got my book back.
We'll hope. We'll see. Well, Jackson Siosen getting those warm-up pitches out there on the mound.
And Zach is, well, if it's a good omen, Zach is on deck right now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll get things squared away. Jackson Seosin this season for the Georgetown Eagles. 14 innings pitched. He's 1-1. He's an ERA of 2.5, and he'll try to keep that as low as he can here as we continue on.
And right now, Seosin is a pitcher of record for Georgetown because they got him off the hook by tying it the last.
Pitch on the way, too far outside. To Zach Rosales. 1-0 the count. Next one hit over and leaping up, making the grab in motion, Luke Seaback for a line to second base. Beautiful grab there on the defensive end by Luke Seaback as he leapt up in motion on that line for the first out.
And if Dennis Allman was here doing the PA, he would have described that as a gold star play.
Pitch on the way here to Mason Moorman is a strike looking 0-1. Mason is 0 for tonight, 0 for. Hit by a pitch, able to come around and score earlier in that rally in the second. Next pitch on the way. He swung at it. Yeah. That's a late strike call, but it is 0-2.
It looked like a rusty garden gate there on that swing.
0-2 delivery. This one hit up over the head. That is a base hit to left field, nowhere in the reach of Cole Posey. And they do protect second base. He wouldn't have been able to get there in time anyways, so a base hit for Mason Moorman.
Sean Rosales.
That is the fourth hit of the afternoon for the Connally Cougars. It'll bring up Sean Rosales, the pitcher. He is also 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch as well in the second. Pitch on the way to Rosales is a strike, 0 for 1. No balls, 1 strike as Seosin on the mound. Lets this one fly off the right hand. Grounds up over, and it should be a tag unassisted at first. That will advance the runner, though, Moorman over to second. So Jackson Seosin will do a little 1U action for the second out. And Moorman will reach to second, though.
Right.
Ian Guthrie tonight. He reached on an error. He's 0 for 1. Did score, though, a run for Connally. Top of the third, we are 2 outs. Pitch on the way, a strike looking. Beautiful pitching by Jackson Seosin continues. 0-1. And Seosin, did they get there in time on the pitch? No, he did not. That was close, about a split second more, and that would have been a out on a 1-4 as he was looking at Seaback to that second baseman, but he did get back in time, Galen.
Just barely. He was a little slow getting back on a good throw.
Seosin checks over his right shoulder several times. Now the kick up, the right-handed pitch on the way, too low, 1-1. Need the good vibes to blow through the air tonight, Galen. 1-1, too low again, and the count now at 2-1. Two-one count. This one,
that's a
wild pitch will advance Moorman over to third. And the count now at 3 balls and 1 strike.
And this is a situation where you don't want to fall behind again in the game for the second time.
You said earlier Todd York in the house tonight.
Yeah.
Did he step in here?
Not in here. He was in the
He's
other
right
one.
next to us,
Yeah.
athletic director. This one pops up over the first base side for a foul, and the count now full at 3-2. This one popped way up into the air, and it's going to sail again behind the net as a foul ball, and the count remains at 3-2. Again, base runner on third, a 3-2 delivery on the way here in just a few moments by Jackson Siosin, the payoff pitch. Right-handed delivery on the way. Tried to snake its way back inside, but too close, and that'll be a walk. And Guthrie, we'll see if Villarreal comes in and courtesy runs for him, and he does.
And Derek Phillips is up, and he singled the last time. So this is kind of, we're getting in almost into a repeat of the last.
Runners on the corners now, 2 outs. Bottom of the order, the left fielder, number 12, Derek Phillips.
Calls a low strike there.
0-1 the count. Delivery off the right hand. Got him looking for a strike, 0-2.
That was almost a carbon copy of the last one. I guess you don't have carbon copies anymore of anything now. It's hard to buy a piece of carbon paper these days.
Trying to pick over at first. The base runner's safe. Again, runners on the corners here in the top of the third. 2 outs. 0-2 the count now for Derek Phillips. Pitch on the way. This one grounds over, and it should be a tag unassisted at first, and it is by Hunter Savarese on a 3U for the third out. So Georgetown doing a good job here, not allowing any runs on one hit. There were no errors and 2 left on base. As we are through 2.5, bottom of the third upcoming. Galen will keep it right here.
Now, hopefully this will be a big inning. We got the meat of the order coming up here. We've got Cole Moore, Ryan Leach, and Jeffrey David.
Well, actually, we will step aside for just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Georgetown Eagle baseball continues after this.
Thousands of listeners, laser-focused marketing, and showing a high level of community involvement. Those are a few of many reasons to advertise with SHN Sports. We strive to keep our broadcast as affordable as possible, and your support makes that happen. Please consider advertising with SHN Sports. Email rob@shnsports.com. That's rob@shnsports.com. We have a solution for everyone. Hey friends, Rob Hipp here, Director of Operations with SHN Sports. Need a friendly reminder of upcoming broadcasts? We have a simple solution. Join the SHN VIP list today. Stay up to date with upcoming broadcasts, events, and other exclusive content. Visit shnsports.com/VIP. That's shnsports.com/VIP.
Welcome back to Georgetown High School. Rob Hipp alongside Galen Wellnicki leading off here in the bottom of the third. Will be the catcher, number 23, Cole Moore. He is 1 for 1 this evening. Had that double in the first and brought in some RBIs for Georgetown. We're all tied up here at 4 apiece. Pitch on the way from Rosales, and Cole will scathe this one out of the glove for a single to first. Well, Cole now 2 for 2. He's the Eagles needed it.
4th hit. 1, 2, and 1. 4.
Oh, yeah, 4. Well, it continues tonight, Galen. Right-handed hitter number 6, Ryan Neitsch. 0 for 1. Had the sacrifice fly out to left field. And brought in a runner. Pitch on the way to Neitsch, the leading home run hitter. Georgetown going to try to steal second, sliding to the base, and he's safe. Cole Moore picking up the stolen base for Georgetown. And for Cole Moore, he doesn't have many this season either, but that's a good one for him to move over to second.
I think he's had about 5 or something like that coming in.
Count here 1-0 in the bottom of the third, tied at 4 apiece. As Rosales checks over his right shoulder, keeping an eye on Cole Moore. The delivery too far outside.
We got that's Noah Thompson running for him too.
Yeah, Noah's the courtesy runner that comes in. Thank you, Galen. The count here on Ryan Neitsch, 2-0.
I looked out there and it was a little bit different build out there on second base.
2-0 delivery. Too close inside, 3-0.
I got a feeling at some point in time we're going to get to this fella out there. He's throwing his game, but I get the feeling we're going to get to him eventually.
.3-0 delivery. Too close, and another base on balls. Ryan Neitsch will reach. And now runners on 1 and 2 for the Georgetown Eagles. No outs here in the bottom of the third. We're tied at 4 apiece. That'll bring up the 5th in the order, the third baseman, number 7, Jeffrey David.
And we've got a mound visit here. We've got a mound visit, a base runner's visit. Brinley's talking to the first baseman.
Everybody's chatting things over.
One umpire's turned his back on the other one, so we're
just received confirmation or word that number 2 for Georgetown, Jared Pierce, is warming up in a bullpen. As the chat continues, text message coming in. As always, we appreciate all of our wonderful listeners out there. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties earlier, trying to keep up with everything. West Texas, Jared Pierce, his family listening in. Appreciate Jared Pierce's grandparents out in West Texas. Always means a lot to us hearing from you guys. And Jackson Siosen did receive stitches last week. That was where the ball hit his helmet and broke it. And but he's out there and he's playing. If you got a shout out or a text message, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know who you'd like to say hello to out there tonight. 512-522-9105. Again, that SHN text line is open at 512-522-9105. Rosales on the mound, looks over his right. Now lets this one fly. Georgetown going to try to steal third, diving, and he is safe. Double steal, as Noah Thompson will steal over to third, and Ryan Neitsch will steal over to second. And now that is Neitsch's first steal of the night and his 28th on the season. So runners now both in scoring position, Galen, at 2 and 3. Jeffrey David at bat, the pitch on the way. Too far out for David. 1 ball and no strikes.
We just turned the light. We've got light now. They just turned the lights on in the first box.
Fine, how you doing, buddy? All right.
The count actually here at 1 and 1.
I'm liking this game. I like it.
1-1 delivery. Too far on the outside corner. 2 and 1 the count.
That's another one of those pitches there that would probably tested the integrity of the radar gun. It was pretty soft.
It would go in negative. We talked about it last night. Rosales keeping an eye behind him. The pitch on the way, too far outside, and that is a
wild pitch.
Wild pitch is going to bring in a score for Georgetown. As Noah Thompson will come in, and that is a lead run now, 5-4. Ryan Neitch will advance over to third, and Georgetown takes the lead, 5-4. The count at 3-1 now. That was a ball to Jeffrey David.
Somebody's stolen down in the bullpen for the Cougars. Can't see quite who it is. His head is just cut off at the neck by the. Well, that's the catcher anyway at that end of the bullpen.
3-1 count. Right-hand pitch on the way, and walked him too high. That is back-to-back base on balls now.
Eight of the 14 Georgetown batters so far have reached base.
So runners on the corners now, Galen at first and
third. Logan Drake,
the left-handed hitter. One of those nights, just a lot going on up here, Galen. I think I may have to turn the old notification system off tonight. Nathan's doing a good job. Thank you, Nathan.
I'll tell you what, it just looks like they were playing a game of stare down there because just there was no Rosales. There's no indication that he was going to throw the ball there.
Well, Logan Drake tonight is 0 for 1, had a 6-3 out in the first. Back to a left-handed hitter trying to advance. Georgetown going to try to steal over to second. And boy, he may be caught now. No, he's going to stay. What they were trying to do is pull that third baseman in to score a run, so he will be safe back at first. That was Jeffrey David taken off, and Connally knew that game, Galen.
Yeah, they did that last night too, with the same result. That's a videotape replay of last night at a different setting.
Recapping bottom of the third, no outs here. Logan Drake at bat. No pitches his way yet. Runners in the corners for Georgetown, leading 5-4 here in the top of the fourth. He gets under this one. It's a base hit to center field and an RBI. Trying to come around to third, diving in, and he'll be safe is Jeffrey David. And Logan Drake now in the corner at first. Runners in the corners at 1 and 3. Neitch will come in and score. And another RBI, this one going to Logan Drake. He needed a hit. He got it. And the hitting sensation for Georgetown getting back to where he left off, and the Eagles lead now 6-4 here in the bottom of the third.
I'm sure with a slight dry spell he'd been going through, he was happy to see that one.
That'll bring up the first baseman, number 25, Hunter Savarese. Hunter, a right-handed batter for Georgetown, is 1 for 1 this evening. Georgetown going to try to steal again. This one popped way up into the air. And if that's an infield, that will be an automatic out. It is not. But he does catch it anyways. The
first out.
Shortstop, number 6, Griffin Murphy. That will be the first out on a fly 6. And that'll take us to the 8th in the order, the left fielder, number 10, Jared Ross. Runners remain on the corners. 1 out for Georgetown as they have a 2-run lead here now in the bottom of the third inning, Galen. This game is dragging along tonight.
Yep. A lot of action in every inning, and that's.
Appreciate Jared Pierce's other grandparents watching tonight from Concan, Texas. We always appreciate the Pierce family, saying thanks for all the hard work. We appreciate sincerely the Pierce family. Thank you for joining us and letting us know how everything's going tonight. They're in Frio River Town.
Oh.
Back tattoo there on Jared Ross will be a hit by pitch. And Galen, that'll load up the bases here with only 1 out in the bottom of the third.
We've got ducks on the pond here. I'll tell you what, that may be the way batters are getting hit this year. That may be true. They need the duck on the pond.
That will bring up
Luke
the bottom of the order, the second baseman, number 8, Luke Seaback, who was 1 for 1. He had a hit but was left stranded on second in the second. Pitch on the way to Luke, too far outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Good time to walk a runner here.
Yes, it would.
Walk a batter.
Any way you can get him in.
That's right. 101 on the board. Bases loaded for Georgetown, leading 6-4 here in the bottom of the third. Rosales, the right-handed pitch. This one is going to fly out to right field, and Mason Moorman. It's going to be a base hit in front of Moorman. He didn't get there in time, and that's going to bring in a runner for Georgetown. 2 runs for Georgetown, or was it 1? It looks like 1 came in. One of them was Jeffrey David scoring the run. Logan Drake will advance over to third. Jared Ross at second, and Luke Seaback with the hit will be there at first. Galen, he put that right where it needed to go.
And they've changed the pitcher's out. He didn't even wait for the coach to get there. He tossed the ball to the coach before the coach even got to the mound. Threw his glove into the dugout.
Well, heading up to the mound now for the Connally Cougars will be number 19. And that number 19 is Michael Chavez. So Michael Chavez now on the mound for the Connally Cougars.
And if you remember, I believe we saw him last night on the mound.
We did, that is correct. We go back to the top of the order now. It'll be Cole Posey due up to bat, if I'm not mistaken, Galen.
Yes, it is.
Georgetown with 3 hits here in this inning. They've got 6 total in the ball game.
11 of the 18 batters that have come to the plate so far for Georgetown have reached base. And 2 of the others had sacrificed flies, so that's pretty good production.
Red Dirt Road.
I got a fan singing to the microphone. I think next game it's kind of nice having that there, but it's a little interruption. It's cool they're doing that, but we usually keep it on the right side. We're trying something new tonight, but it's been pretty loud down there on the crowd mic tonight. Actually, someone that went to sit down earlier hit it with their chair and knocked it off. Hey, if you got a shout out, we'd love to hear from you. Had another one come in moments ago saying, way to go, Eagles. Appreciate all of our wonderful listeners. Thank you for your support this season of your Georgetown Eagles. Feel free to text us at 512-522-9105. Again, that text message is 512-522-9105. We'd love to hear from you tonight. Always doing our best to work hard up here for these kiddos. Always talked about Carl and I started SHN almost 4 years ago, and the whole reason for starting SHN, not only to broadcast these games, to bring them to you, but to help promote these student athletes. And here at Georgetown, with the multi-camera angle view that we brought on this season, and thanks to our crew that's making that happen, the best coverage in Central Texas, and that's because of our crew, Galen, that's doing a fine job. We appreciate them. Again, it's Cole Posey. Pitch on the way to Copo, too low, and it will be a ball, 1-0. Galen, the next batter will end, and then we will go around with Cole Moore if we get to that point.
Yes, we will be ruining our scorecards here. I hear Jared down there in the dugout.
One 1-0 count here on 1 out. Cole Posey 0 for 1 this evening. Right-handed pitch on the way. Looked far, but they're going to call it a strike at the corner, 1-1. You know, last night that zone was moving around, so it was floating, Galen. Hasn't been floating too much tonight.
The pitchers have been floating a little bit tonight at times, but the zone stayed just pretty much the same.
And we talked about earlier, bittersweet, because this will be our last video broadcast of the season in the playoffs. It will be audio only, but we'll magnify the scoreboard, and you'll be able to listen to good audio coming through YouTube as well. And we will be with you all season long here with the Georgetown Eagles playoff run. This one's going to ground over to the third baseman and trying to go home, and that's an error on the third baseman as he threw a dagger, and an E5 will score.
Logan Drake.
Logan Drake on the E5. And the runner will, the hitter Posey, the batter will reach over to first, but again, not on a hit, unfortunately for Cole on the stat line, but it's still good he got there. So now runners on one is Cole Posey. Jared Ross will be at third, and Luke Seaback moves over to second. Bases still continue to be loaded here for Georgetown as they lead 8-4. Still only one out here, Galen. Move down to Wyatt Childress, the right fielder, number 20. Pitch on the way to right, and that hits him on the hand.
That forces in a run.
And it will force in a run, a hit by pitch. So Posey will advance over to second, and we will round the order now. Jared Ross will come in and score. Luke Seaback will head over to 3. And Georgetown now a commanding 9-4 lead, Galen, as they continue to dominate here in this third inning of play. We'll move back to the order now to...
There was some kind of justice on that play. Jared Ross reached base on a hit by pitch.
Yeah, I guess they did. We're waiting to see here. Did they bring him back, Galen?
I guess. I didn't see that.
Yeah, Childress came back.
Well.
It hit him in the hand. Cole Moore was already stepping up there like he was going to go at bat, and they do bring him back. So I got to go erase a bunch of things here now, Galen.
Not the first time I've had to do that tonight. So.
Well, Ross will be at third. Seaback at second. Cole Posey at 1. And Childress on a 1-0.
I thought that was almost poetic justice. Ross got on base with a hit batsman and scored on a hit batsman, you know. It's a
1-0 delivery. Drops in for the strike to make it even at 1-1.
My scorecard's starting to look like a chicken with ink on his feet. He just started walking all over it.
One delivery. Too low. 2 balls and 1 strike here on 1 out. Bases loaded for Georgetown, and the Eagles lead 9-4. Was it 9? It should be. It's 8-4. So we'll take that 1 off.
Yeah.
Eagles lead 8-4.
Yeah, because Jared Ross is still on third base, I believe.
So Georgetown scoring 4 runs in this inning, 8-4 your score, and time is called here. Wyatt Childress steps back. Ian Guthrie going to talk things over with Michael Chavez. Again, having a few more text messages come in from our fans for Georgetown. If you've got a shout out, feel free to send us a text message to 512-522-9105. Again, the SHN fan line is open at 512-522-9105. Had a text message come in from Jeffrey David's family, watching number 7 from Houston, Texas. Thank you for allowing us to feel connected to the Georgetown Eagles. We appreciate David family as well. Thank you so much for your support throughout the season. We're looking forward to the playoffs. And Jeffrey having a phenomenal season out there at third base. Right-handed delivery on the way. This one's going to ground up to the second baseman, and he'll tag, trying to get the double play, and
they threw it away.
That will throw away. An error will bring in another run for Georgetown. And Georgetown, did he get tagged at second? He is out. But that will bring in 1 run. It will be Jared Ross, Galen. And the out will be there on Wyatt Childress as he was trying to get over to second, and then Cole Posey tried to come around, but Luke Seaback will also be tagged out. So I only think 1 run came in. It was only 1 run. Don't trust the scoreboard up there, Nathan. They didn't take the run off earlier on Childress. So 1 run came in. Georgetown leads 9-4. The run that came in again was Jared Ross. And unless we saw
10.
The official call, they did score 2 runs on that last one, Galen.
Okay.
And I'm not sure who came in and scored on that, to be honest. I apologize. It's been one of those nights tonight.
Well, it had to have been Seabeck then.
So as we update things here, moving to the top of the 4th, Georgetown leads 10-4.
Hey, ask.
As we move here to the top of the 4th inning, Georgetown leading 10-4. And leading off for Connally will be the top of the order, number 20, Jason Hedges. On the mound, Seosin. Right-handed pitch on the way as it tries to curve in, but too late for a ball, 1-0. Strike as he looks, 1-1 the count. This one hit foul tip, 1-2.
Okay.
So the official is 10-4. Seaback would have been the one to come in and score, Galen.
Yeah.
And Posey would have been that second out. And then the third out by Wyatt Childress.
Right.
So that'll sum all that up. 1-2 the count here. Right-handed pitch on the way. Swing and a miss for the strikeout by Jackson Seosin on Jason Hedges. We haven't had any 1-2-3s tonight. It'd be a good time for one, Galen. It'll bring up the shortstop, number 6, Griffin Murphy. Murphy is 0 for 2. Struck out looking in the first, then out on a 4-3 ground out in the second. 1 out we are. Pitch on the way. Clips the corner for a strike as it came back on the change, 0-1.
It's good to see things starting to move along because I tell you what, at the rate this game was going, 24-hour restaurants may be closing before this game's over.
The 25th hour. 0-1 delivery. This one got the corner as well as he looked at it, 0-2. Murphy steps out of the base and takes time, now steps back up to the plate. 0-2 the count, currently nobody on here in the top of the 4th for Connally. This pitch got away from Seosin, and he knew it right after he let it go. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two delivery off the right hand. Here's some of the crowd there saying he offered at it, but he pulled back, 2-2. He said the menu looked good, but he didn't order on that one, Galen.
Yeah, that's right.
On the 2-2, got him too low, and now it's a payoff pitch, 3-2. Payoff. And got him looking. Back-to-back strikeouts now for the second. Third in the order, the second baseman, number 10, Jeffrey Padovic. He is 1 for 2. Lined one to center field in the first. Had a hit in the second to first base, but was left stranded. Right-handed hitter for the Connally Cougars. Georgetown leads 10-4 here in the top of the 4th, Galen, on 2 outs. Right-handed pitch on the way. Drops in for a strike. Beautiful pitch by Jackson Seosin, 0-1.
Got a little bit of a twist in it there, like a curveball. Dropped in there.
Someone sending a text message earlier on the pitch here as it cuts to the outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shout out to my favorite catcher, A.J. Vasquez.
Neither one of these teams has an A.J. Vasquez, I don't believe.
This one clipped the corner for a strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, he may have been shouting out to somebody before, you know, who knows? Yeah, I don't see a Vasquez on the roster that we have. Well, hey, thank you for listening anyways. 1-2 the count. Nobody on. Top of the fourth, 2 outs we are. The delivery. This one grounds over to Cole Posey and looking for a 6-3. Over to Hunter Savarese and got him on the 6-3. And Galen, we said Georgetown had not had a 3-up, 3-down. Well, after that, Padovic retiring. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. That is the quickest top of an inning we have got through tonight. Time now almost 8:30 here at Georgetown High School. A beautiful night for baseball. We'll keep it right here, Mr. Wellnicki.
Cole Moore, I think, will be coming up.
It will. So we didn't round last time. We got close.
Yeah. You know,
we got really close.
The obvious ending to this would be to score 4 or 5 runs this inning and get in the 10-run rule.
I went in there to have a chat. Ron Tenney saying, asking if we were keeping you in line in here, Galen.
No.
I said, well, you're keeping me in line tonight. This is the way it goes here.
Mr. Tenius and I have had running jokes for many years here.
Well, the bottom of the fourth we are. Again, leading off will be the left-handed hitter, number 23, Cole Moore.
Well, we protected the last inning and anyway, protected the integrity of our scorecards anyway.
This is Cole Moore's 90th at-bat of the season. Ryan Neitch hit that monumental number moments ago. We can say it's monumental. 100 would be more, but that's not bad. And Cole Moore at 90 now on the season with this at-bat. Chavez on the mound, a left-handed pitcher to the left-handed hitter. This one, as Cole Moore looked at it for a strike, 0-1. Cole Moore tonight is 2 for 2, though. He's rebounded after the struggles last night. Oh and 1. Pitch on the way. This one, a line out to foul territory off the first base side, 0-2. Well, the same message that we got a while ago from favorite catcher saying also a shout out to Cole Moore. I'm on the live stream to watch him. He's my favorite player on Georgetown. So, again, we appreciate you sending us a message. I think the farthest that we ever had was in Iraq. Someone was listening in a base during football season. That was pretty exciting to know that we had some listeners out there, of course, fine folks in the military that were listening in to a nephew. 1-2, the first ball of this at-bat. AJ is on the Georgetown JV team. So give a shout out to those guys. Their season ending. Of course, in the sub-varsities, you don't go on to the playoffs. 2-2. Last pitch was a ball. Cole Moore trying to work out of this now. Falling down early. Brought it back to an even count at 2-2. 2-2 delivery. This one hit foul. Just behind us, the count remains 2-2.
That reminds me too. We're gonna have to check with Adam to see how many players he's bringing up from the JV for the playoffs to put on the roster. Usually they bring up a few. Even if they don't get in the game, it's good for the kids to learn.
We were going to talk to Thompson last night, but then Georgetown's pitching did a phenomenal job. This one too low. Payoff pitch upcoming, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
He scored twice. He scored twice as a courtesy runner.
He's having another great night. Who did we talk to last night? Pitcher, who was that came in there at the end? My mind went blank. Goodness gracious, Galen.
Was number 9.
Oh, Grant Wood.
Yeah.
My mind has been stagnant. Someone needs to flip over the water bucket because the mosquitoes are starting to grow. 3-2, right hand, deep down, but this one should sail up into the glove of Mormon, and he will have it in the stadium lights for the first out on the fly 9. Bring up the center fielder, number 6, Ryan Neitch, who is 0 for 1. Had a sacrifice fly in the first to left field, and then walked, stole a base, a wild pitch to third, then came around to score in the third. The pitch on the way is going to be called a ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
It was a little high.
One 1-0 delivery. Too low. I haven't got out of the glove. 2 balls, no strikes here for Ryan Goodnight. Chavez on the mound for Connally. The 2-0 delivery. And pulled and got him for a strike there. He thought about it and then pulled back, but too much juice in the juicer. 2-1. I don't know if it's apple juice. You can't have too much. I love apple juice. And I stay at the Holiday Inn Express because that continental breakfast, I drink probably 5 or 6 of those every morning. I love them. There's no charge. 2-1 delivery. He tipped that one? It did, so he'll stay. It would have been a strike. It would have only been the second anyways, and it is 2-2. It's funny, Galen, you know, you stay at the lesser expensive hotels. One, I can't afford the big fancy ones, but you stay at the lesser expensive hotels like a Holiday Inn Express. Those are getting pricey now, though, but you get the free breakfast. You don't get those at a higher-end hotel. This one's going to ground foul off the third base side into the Eagle dugout near David England. And there is action in the bullpen, as you can see on our bullpen cam there. And getting the warm-up pitches in right now is Caleb Monosmith. Oh, Monosmith out there, beg your pardon. Caleb Monosmith in the cage now. 2-2. Count currently sits on Ryan Neitch, and this one is into the glove of the shortstop, and he will throw it in. That's got to be an error on the first baseman. That was right in, and Neitch is going to stand up at second. Almost another error, but you got to give the error on that one, Galen, on the first baseman. That's an E3. He threw it right into his glove, and it just went past him. Do you agree? I don't think you call the error on the shortstop on that one, do you, Galen?
Not if it was perfectly catchable.
I think it was. So Neitch will head over to second. He'll reach on the E3. That'll move us to the fifth in the order. Number 7, Jeffrey David, who is 0 for 1. Struck out looking in the first, reached on a walk, came around and scored in the third. Jeffrey David on his 91st at-bat now of the season. So he's over that 90 mark. Several players getting over that tonight, Galen. Get only one out here. Georgetown leads 10-4.
Need to get another run in here. He's running.
Going to try to steal, and he will get there in time. So another stolen base for Ryan Goodnight. as he says good nights to the Connally defense, and Ryan Knights with another stolen base, now at 29 on the season overall, all 32 games.
You know, it's pretty good when you can average a stolen base a game just about.
Jeffrey Padovic came in as well as the catcher. Padovic, of course, over there at second base for Connally, and Ian Guthrie came in. They both had a discussion with Chavez there on the mound and quickly broke that up. The count at 1-0. As Knights now on third. 1-0, and this one way out of the reach on a wild pitch, but it doesn't really count as anything on the stat sheet because nobody advanced.
I guarantee you, if that had been last night, the runner would have scored because it would have died up against the. But that one came right back to the catcher.
Yeah, it's that brick wall right behind you. 2-0 to count, 1 out. Georgetown leads 10-4 here in the bottom of the fourth. And 2-0 delivery. Going to be another ball here. It's 3 balls and no strikes.
That was another lofted pitch. He's having a little bit of trouble with his control right now.
Zane Haas getting a shout out tonight as well, thanks to our listeners and viewers. Zane Haas on the mound last night at Connally as a second pitcher. Pitched a couple of innings. If you've got a shout out, feel free to text him 512-522-9105. 3-0 delivery. And walked him. Base on balls, Jeffrey David. So Galen, that will put runners back in the corners. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. Georgetown with a 6-run lead, 10-4.
Putting Logan Drake back in the batter's box here.
Now, Drake tonight 1 for 2. Had a hit. Scored on the E5 in the third in that crazy inning where things got out of hand. Chicken scratch started going everywhere all over the scorebook.
I'll know what happened in that inning tomorrow when I look at Game Changer.
10-4, runners in the corner. Now at bat, Logan Drake, the left-handed hitting sensation, as Michael Chavez throws it over to his first baseman, Matthew McMillan, trying to pick Jeffrey David.
Throw it away and we'll get another run.
Left-handed pitcher Chavez with that left foot on the center of the rubber on the mound. Kicks up the left leg, the pitch on the way, and it goes too far outside of the reach, and it'll be a ball, 1-0. Logan Drake. Yeah, the crowd mic over there again having issues. Two 2-0 the count. They need to go move that around or secure it a different way. Folks keep messing with it. Two balls, no strikes here, 1 out. Logan Drake, runners in the corners for Georgetown. Left-handed delivery, fastball, but too low. And a 3-0 count now.
I believe that's 7 straight balls now. Seven straight balls in an air before that, so it's not a good sequence for the Cougars.
At one point, Connally led this 4-3, but Georgetown has been on the rally. They put in the hurt last inning. Pitch here is going to be a walk. Logan Drake, and bases will load up again as David will head over to second. Drake at 1. And back-to-back walks will load up the bases again for Georgetown. It'll bring up the first baseman, number 25, Hunter Savarese.
And that's loading the bases without a. And we got a pitching change again, I think.
They'll talk things over on the mound as our camera zooms in there. It is a discussion. I don't know if McMillan is going to pitch. He's standing there. McMillan is the first baseman, but he's the one standing near there. He's discussing things over as well. Jared getting the crowd fired up.
Nope, I guess they're not going to make a change after all. Are they odd manning out to see who's going to?
Well, Drake for Georgetown at first still. David at second. Third is Ryan Knight. And Hunter Savarese at bat. Bases loaded for the Eagles.
And the left-hander Chavez stays in as the pitcher. After throwing 8 straight balls here.
This is a base hit out to left field. Going to bring in 2 runs. Chasing down to home plate. Got there in time, and runners will advance over to 2 and 3. So Ryan Knights will come around and score. Jeffrey David will come around and score. Logan Drake will move over to third, and Hunter Savarese will
have a single and advance to second on the throw.
hit first, and as Galen said, advanced over on the throw. And Georgetown leading now 12-4. Galen, we're closing in on your run rule, your favorite time.
Yes, but we got to get them out in the top of the 5th, though, if we do that.
Runners on 2 and 3 in scoring position for Georgetown. Now at bat, Jared Ross. First pitch is a ball, 1-0.
You know, it would be nice. You know, Jared scored once and scored a run with a sacrifice fly. It'd be nice if he could get a good hit and get a two RBI single or something here and make him the player of the game, because I don't believe we've had him as a player of the game.
Jared Ross?
Yeah.
That's correct.
And he's done a lot of great base running this year.
Pitch too far outside on Ross. 2 balls, no strikes.
You know, despite his lack of hitting times at the plate, he's got 10 stolen bases and 20, and he has scored 21 runs this year. So, you know, it's
low pitch, 3-0. And remember, bases are not loaded, only on 2 and 3. So if this is going to be a base on balls, it'll load the bases here. There won't be a forced run. Chavez trying to find his rhythm. His first baseman, McMillan, talking things over. I always like how they hold the glove over the face.
That's so so the TV cameras can't pan in and see what they're saying.
The SHN camera.
Yeah.
See some other broadcasts, and there you wouldn't have to worry about that. But with us, we got all these cameras everywhere poking in your nose, so you better be paying attention. 3-0. Left-hander Chavez. Trying to work out of this pitch count. Pulls back and got him this time looking for a strike. 3-1.
I think the umpire might just call strikes eventually to start getting this game to move along.
Who knows, Galen? We've seen some crazy stuff this year. Right-handed pitch on the way. This one
that's loaded
too
bases.
high outside, and now it is a loaded base on a base on balls. That is the 3rd walk in this inning, Galen.
And the coach is coming back out now. I think this is the second visit of the inning, so I definitely think we'll have a. He's leaving. Who's coming in? Number
3 will make his way onto the mound for the Connally Cougars. And that number 3 will be Cash Patterson. So Cash Patterson on the mound now, number 3. We'll step aside while Cash gets his warm-up pitches. Don't go anywhere, folks. Georgetown Eagle baseball will continue after this.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Hipp Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Hipp Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Hipp Network and SHNSports.com.
Again, friends, welcome back to Georgetown Eagle Baseball live tonight on the SHNSports.com broadcast network. We don't ask of this often, but if you've enjoyed these broadcasts this season and you feel so inclined, we gladly accept any donations that help us out here. Of course, this season with Georgetown baseball bringing on all the camera angles and additional equipment, this is by far the most viewed and most produced event in Central Texas. And again, if you do feel so inclined, just feel free to go to SHNSports.com, and there is a link there where we will gladly accept donations for our services. Again, don't have to, but we don't ask for it often. But if you have enjoyed these broadcasts this season, any support that you can provide is absolutely beneficial and helpful to us. All you do is go to SHNSports.com, roll over the home button, and then click on Support SHN. If you want to get there directly, you can go to SHNSports.com/support as well. So SHNSports.com/supports. And we will continue. Again, we don't charge any listeners to listen to these broadcasts. We're here for the kids, and we want to keep things going through the playoffs as well. So, again, we appreciate all of our wonderful viewers. Thank you for all of your support and for being a part of Georgetown Eagle baseball. So a new pitcher on the mound is Cash Patterson. As the broadcast continues, I'm Rob Hipp alongside Galen Wellnicki and Nathan Height up here as well as our technical director. Cole Smith, our box camera operator. Appreciate Cole here tonight, as well as David England doing a great job. David had his daughter Presley out here as well, and she got a little camera time working earlier. We appreciate that. You know, when it's a two-man crew, it's not much, but when you start bringing on multiple cameras, you go from 2 people to 5 or 6 pretty easy, Galen.
Ooh, that bounced back. You could have almost scored on that because that bounced too far back.
Yeah, that one did. Luke Seaback telling his runners, though, to hold as he is at bat now. 1-0 the early count here, Luke Seaback.
Now on the mound for the Connally Cougars, number 3, Cash Patterson.
Cash Patterson on the mound, a right-handed pitcher for Connally. As we turn on the microphone down in the Georgetown Eagle dugout, you can hear our Eagles down there getting after it. The pitch on the way, swing and a miss on this one. Luke Seaback 1-1.
I'd like to get 2 more runs right now.
Yeah, I know you would.
10 after 5, 1 after 7. Those are the rules.
Seaback tonight is 2 for 2, actually. He's had a hit, left on second in the second, and then had a hit and came around and scored in the third. Georgetown leads 12-4 here in the bottom of the 4th. High pitch, 2-1. 2-1 delivery, too low, 3 balls and 1 strike. We are 1 out.
And another ball would produce another run, walk in another run.
Another ball would put another smile on Galen Wellnicki.
No,
one run closer.
I'm enjoying this.
1 run closer to the Wellnicki pitch on the way, and that is a forced run on a walk. That will bring in Logan Drake, who's forced to come in. And Georgetown now 13-4. The count, of course, will reset on a new batter. We will move back to the top of the order. Number 5, the shortstop, Cole Posey.
No, it's number 22.
It is 22. So Wesley Dixon will be hitting now for Cole Posey.
I imagine Mr. Posey will come back in to play defense, though. Wesley's got a good batting average, too.
Wesley Dixon on the season, 368, his 39th at bat. The first pitch to him, though, is going to be a strike, 0-1. Bases loaded for Georgetown. Cash the pitch, swing, tip, foul, 0-2. Cash Patterson, 0-2 delivery. This one is going to hit right in, and Going to be a
force at the plate.
A force right there at the plate as Cash Patterson on a 1-2 to get out. Georgetown.
Good, Ross, I think.
Runner, was that Savarese? No, it was Savarese.
Yeah.
So Savarese out on a 1-2, and that is the second out of the inning. However,
Noah Thompson is now at the bat.
Ross will be at third, Seaback at 2, and Wesley Dixon at 1. Doesn't count as a hit for Dixon.
Nope. It was a fielder's choice.
And it will bring up the number 17,
Noah Thompson.
Noah Thompson.
Now, if Noah Thompson could slap a hit right here, it'd be.
First pitch on the way is called a ball, 1-0, Noah Thompson.
It'd be a good. It would enhance his chances of being the player of the game, with having scored twice already as a.
1-0 pitch, too close inside, 2-0.
Let's see, we're still in a position where another walk would force in a run, are we not? Yes, we are.
We'd beat your magic number, Galen.
Nirvana.
2 balls and no strikes here, bottom of the fourth, 2 outs we are. Pitch on the way, this one too close inside again, 3-0. Now, Galen, 1 more ball.
But we got to play defense in the top of the fifth.
That's true.
It doesn't stop in the bottom of the fourth.
No gimmies.
I wouldn't want to play golf with them then, because I always like them when they give me gimmies.
3-0 delivery, and that will force a run in on a walk. So Thompson, and that will also round the order. So your score sheet gets messed up, Galen.
So does yours.
That'll bring in Ross across the plate. Seaback will head over to third, and Wesley Dixon now at second. Noah Thompson at 1, and Georgetown leads by 10 now, 14-4.
You know, the good way to punctuate this game now is with Cole with Blues one completely out and the trees out there.
Well, Cole Moore tonight is 2 for 3.
And he almost got one out. He was about a foot from getting one out earlier.
Yeah, they're in the right field at that 323 mark. And that was in the first. And then a little peanut butter brought him in. Pitch way too far outside on Cole Moore. 1-0.
That's a consensus of opinion, pretty much.
Everybody's up here saying that. 1-0 pitch, and almost swung at it, but decided not to wisely. 2 balls, no strikes. I don't think we've seen a grand slam this season. We saw one our first year at SHN, I believe it was at Marble Falls in the fog. That was the fog night. Cole, boy, took a power swing at that one, but missed it, 2-1. He wanted it.
He was going for the grand salami on that one.
Glad you didn't say grand bologna. Ugh. I used to eat that bologna when I was a kid, man. I don't know how I used to eat so much bologna sandwiches with mayonnaise.
When I was a kid going to school in San Diego, California, there was a grocery store on Friday afternoon. They'd give free pieces of bologna if you went by and asked them.
2-1, too high here. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And everybody was just chewing on a piece of bologna on their way home from school.
I haven't touched that stuff in probably 10 years, man.
I'll tell you what, I got one that my family hates that I like is olive loaf.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that, yeah. Oh, man, the pimento cheese loaf.
Yeah.
All right, gang, we're talking the wrong kind of food tonight. On deck is Ryan Knight, 3-1 count. Pitch on the way, too close, and that'll force another run in as Cole Moore will now walk. That'll bring in Luke Seaback. Dixon will head over to third. Noah Thompson at 2. Cole Moore at 1. And the score now 15-4.
And that was the 6th walk of the inning.
And for Cole Moore out there for Georgetown will be a courtesy runner. And that courtesy runner for the Georgetown Eagles, Cole Moore, will be Jared Pierce.
Everybody on the roster is going to get to play in this inning.
Ryan Knight now hitting for Georgetown, the right-handed hitter. He is 0 for 2, though, in this ball game. Pitch tonight's too far out, 1-0.
But he's driven in a run and scored twice.
Yep.
So it's not been all for naught.
It's one of those stat lines that's misleading. You think 0 for 2, and you're like, oh, you haven't did much. Well, actually, you've done a lot tonight. 1-0. This one popped way up into the air. That may be catchable in foul territory as it skies up to the moon. And the runners for Georgetown. He drops it in the foul territory, though. So a lot of running for no salami.
Now, technically, if the next run scores, he prolonged the. How many are out? One. Just one out.
No, we're in 2 outs right
now.
now.
Okay, he prolonged the inning. So if another run scores, that becomes an error.
One and one even. And gets the corner for the strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, bases loaded for Georgetown, a commanding 15-4 lead. 4th inning, they have owned it. Pitch now, too far out again. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ryan Goodnight.
2 days ago when this game started, it didn't look like it would end up in this kind of a game.
Two-two delivery. Knight bit at this one, but it goes foul off the third base line into the dugout. 2-2 remains.
A lot of good bench jockeying there from the Georgetown dugout there. They're doing their best to upset the old hurler out there.
2-2 delivery, and he hit it. It was going out. The center fielder going to chase it down, diving, and has the grab, and that's going to leave 3 on and ends the Georgetown frenzy. Knight, a late hit there, hit lines to center field as Jason Hedges able to bring that one down, and Galen, the damage is finally over here for Georgetown. But as we talk about it in this 4th inning, Georgetown scoring
5, I think.
Yeah, 5 runs here in this inning. Those 5 runs coming on
1 hit.
That's correct. 5 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 3 left on. So again, 5 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 3 left on base. And I believe a new pitcher for Georgetown out there on the mound. We'll get that here in just a moment. I believe it's number 16. We're hearing that from Nathan
Monosmith
and our operators here, and it is Caleb Monosmith for Georgetown. So Caleb Monosmith now on the mound, a right-handed pitcher for Georgetown.
Okay, right now, as the pitching stands, Siosin is the winning pitcher, would be the winning pitcher. And Monosmith cannot get a save with this big a lead, with an 11-run lead.
Well, Georgetown just 3 away here, Galen, if they can do it, and holding on. They just cannot allow. They can allow 1. That's about it, though. Thanks for joining us tonight. Georgetown Eagle Baseball season finale before post-game starts. The Eagles lead 15-4. Here in the top of the 5th inning we go. This could be a run rule if Georgetown defense can hold. Monosmith on the pitcher's mound. You can see all of the Georgetown Eagle fans waving the faces tonight. They all have the faces waving. We've got it on the camera there. Good camera work by Cole Smith. We appreciate you, Cole. David England as well out there on the field. Nathan up here as technical director. I'm Rob Hipp, Galen Wellnicki. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight on SHN Sports.
One defensive change out there is Noah Thompson's playing in right field now.
So Noah Thompson now playing in right field for Wyatt Childress. Leading off here in the top of the 5th inning will be number 8, Matthew McMillan, who is 1 for 1. And the first pitch from Monosmith will go foul off the bat. 0-1 the early count. Savarese at first, Seaback at second, David at third. The shortstop, Cole Posey. Left to right, Ross, Neitch, and Noah Thompson. Pitch on the way by Mona Smith. The fastball right across the plate for a strike, 0-2. Oh, 2 delivery. Swung at it for the strikeout up high for the first out as well. So Mona Smith comes in and immediately throws 3 pitches, all of them strikes, and gets his first strikeout.
Almost needed a ladder for that one.
That'll bring up the third baseman, number 4, Zach Rosales, 5th in the order. He is 0 for 2 tonight, struck out looking in the first, and then line one to first base in the third. The first pitch is a ball, 1-0. Delivery, swing and a miss. Got him to bite on it. The steak wasn't medium rare enough.
Start getting us into the conversation now as to whether we want to talk about whether we're going to play Tomball Memorial, Brenham, or Willis in the
next pitch. The third one low, 2-1. Yeah, that's a good point you brought up.
Willis probably is going to lose out tonight. They were playing Magnolia, the number 1 team in the district, but the others both had chances, real good chances to win. We got an injured umpire here.
As Coach Burnley comes up, as well as Coach Foster, as well as
Chad Hennessy, our trainer, one of the best trainers in the state,
absolutely.
By the way. I tell you, our two full-time trainers are as good probably as any combination in the state.
Checking the ump over, believe everything. They're down there maybe sharing a few stories for a minute. I saw Brindley kind of smiling for a minute. Of course, not over the injury, but the ump down there trying to make the light of the situation. You know, it's a dangerous game. You got a lot of things flying around, and looks like he's going to be okay there, Galen, I believe.
That's a, in all the abuse you take, vocal abuse you take, you can take a lot of physical abuse when you get behind the plate.
Do get to see Chad Hennessy there on the right side of your camera. You don't get to see him a lot. And as we got a quick view of him before he ran in, we appreciate the fine training work of Georgetown staff as well. 2-1 the count here on Zach Rosales. Caleb Mona Smith on the mound. The right-handed fastball with the velocity behind it, but too close inside.
Now 2-2, is that correct?
3-1 is the count. 3-1 delivery, swing and a miss. Got him for the second strike to bring it to a full count now.
See, I was just forecasting that next strike. That's what it was.
Were you the Connally fan
now,
or the it was the Georgetown fan? Pitch here. This one going to hit foul way off the first base side.
Actually, that was the Southwestern fan.
That was right. Yeah, the Southwestern game. That's correct. He kept calling every play, and every play he called worked for the first 5 or 6.
Well, usually he wanted him to hit it up the middle.
Next pitch on the way. Got him looking for the second out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Mona Smith. Well, who's making the case tonight, Galen? I mean, we've got a good offering here of Noah Thompson, Jared Ross. Let's talk to both of them tonight.
Yeah.
We'll get both of them in, Galen.
That'd be a good thing to do. They would be appreciative. Their parents would probably be appreciative.
Pitch on the way here to Mason Moorman is going to be a strike, 0-1. Swing and a miss again. 2 pitches, 2 strikes, 0-2. Georgetown 1 strike away.
In the Connally season is 1 strike away too. That way too.
Yeah, and Connally is, again, very hospitable young man, and swing and a miss got him, and that'll do it. And Georgetown ends the season on 3 strikeouts by Caleb Mona Smith, and they are undefeated in 19-5A, 16-0. Thank you to Connally for a great, humble series. As always, we appreciate the fans and Connally. We will have post-game and more. Don't go anywhere, folks. Georgetown Eagle Baseball will continue in a few moments. Nathan, beg your pardon, Galen, I'll head down. I'll let you take it over.
It's kind of a strange-looking line out here for Georgetown. Georgetown scored 15 runs on 8 hits, but there were there were a lot of walks and hit batsmen figured in there, including 6 in 1 inning. And there, what? Thompson and Ross. And they made 2 errors. Connally made 2 errors. And then they scored 4 runs on 4 hits, and Georgetown made 1 error. And, this ends up a 16-0. It's a 19 school record, 19 straight victory. And sets up, we're going to have to wait now probably until Saturday to figure out who Georgetown's going to play in the first round of the playoffs. Maybe Monday before they determine where and when. And I've heard that Brenham would want to play a 1-game series, but I'm sure if it's Memorial, they'd want to go 2 out of 3. And the chances are Willis will not make it because they're playing Montgomery tonight, and they would get eliminated. And Jared's out leading the crowd again, and we've got our... He's got... Who'd he got? He's got... Hey, you guys, I think they're setting up for another Aggie-type attack down there, if you can hear me. Don't turn your back on anybody.
Rob Hipp down here. Can you guys hear me up in the booth? Cutting out. We're good?
You're good.
Awesome. Well, Rob Hipp down here with our SHN Sports Georgetown Eagle co-player of the game tonight, number 10, Jared Ross. Jared, 2 runs scored tonight. You also brought in a run on the sacrifice as the fun interviews continue here from Georgetown, Texas. We got to make it fun, right, Jared?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So tell us about the game tonight. You finished now 16-0 in the season. What's it been like for you, Jared?
It's just been an outstanding ride as a senior this year, really just looking to get into playoffs, and we win district, and God, that hurt. And it's just been an amazing feeling to go undefeated in district, and now we're looking forward to playoffs.
Well, talk about the game tonight. You know, at one point Connally leads 4-3, but then as it's been all season, Georgetown turns it on. Talk about the confidence now heading into the playoffs.
We've always really just had a confidence. Even when we were down, we've always just been, it's a 0-0 ball game. We just go out there and score runs, and we'll come out on top. And we just cancel the scoreboard out.
Well, it's been a phenomenal season so far. Of course, you talked about it earlier. You go undefeated. You play against a good Connally team, very humble guys. What has this season meant to you, Jared, now playing with these guys here? Can you talk about the highlights of your season? I know, of course, going undefeated, but what has this season meant to you, young man?
I mean, they're just a great group of guys. Like, they're all my brothers. We're a bunch of family members here. We're just great teammates, and it's just been a wonderful experience.
Awesome. Well, final comments here. Camera's on you. Who do you want to send a shout-out to tonight, young man?
Shout out to my mom, my stepdad, Jerry, and my sister, Joanna, and the big man upstairs.
Awesome, man. Love it. Good to see you. Our SHN Sports Georgetown Eagle co-player of the game. Now as we welcome on number 17, Noah Thompson. Thompson, I don't think you're going to get anything, so you don't have to worry about it, young man. But talking about here tonight, 2 runs coming in as a pinch runner, I believe. Talk about this game tonight, Noah.
It was just a good win. We got to get ready for the playoffs, and it was good to get everyone going into it.
Well, this season you go undefeated now at 16-0 in district play. Talk about what this season has meant to you so far.
It's been really fun just coming out with all the guys and just winning baseball games.
Now you head into the playoffs, confidence at an all-time high. Coming into this game, 18 wins in a row. That was already a record setter. Now 19 in a row. Can you talk about how it feels to be in the playoffs undefeated?
It feels good. We'll be hot going in and just bought into everything and ended up working out for us.
Awesome. Well, finally, camera's on you. Who do you want to send a shout-out to, some love to tonight, young man?
Shout out to God, all my teammates, and my parents.
Awesome. Well, once again, our SHN Sports Georgetown Eagle co-player of the game, Noah Thompson. Now we'll welcome on Coach Adam Foster. Coach, again, appreciate all your hospitality this season. Your accessibility has been unbelievable. 16-0, Coach. How do you feel at the end of the season?
I feel good. I'm happy for our guys. They worked their tails off, and they earned every bit of it. So I'm very proud of them. It's been a team effort all year. We've used a bunch of guys in different situations, and very proud of the guys. They've handled it with class and done it the right way.
Coach, you got to give your hats off to Connally early on, as they had a nice run there, leading 4-3. Talk about the flow of the game tonight and what really turned things around for the Georgetown Eagles.
Yeah, Grayson lost his command a little bit there, and then every time he threw a strike, those guys didn't miss it. So, they got us for a couple runs, and we responded like we have all season. We get punched in the mouth, we usually punch back.
15-4, the final score tonight. Caleb Monesmith comes on, throws 3 strikes in a row. You have to be impressed with how he ended the season here tonight.
Yeah, really excited. He's starting to come around at the right time, and he's going to be a big piece for us going down the road.
Coach, as of this point, I know some other games are going to make up. Do we have any information as far as playoffs? I know that they're starting next week. Can you tell us any insight as to what we may expect coming up?
No, they've got 4 teams that could all end up at 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, and we'll figure it out tonight and see if anything changed. Probably won't know anything until Saturday or Sunday.
Awesome. Well, we'll make sure to follow you guys on Twitter, as we always do, at AFE_baseball. Coach, congratulations on a 16-0 season. 19 wins in a row. Unbelievable.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys following us and all the support. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, once again, Coach Adam Foster, we appreciate his accessibility as well as all of the staff. Shout-outs as well to Coach Jordan Vieira, and then, of course, Coach Brindley, the pitching coach. And Chad Hennessy, got to talk about him. He got some camera time tonight as one of the trainers, full-time trainers. We are truly blessed here in Georgetown. As I always say on SHN, I always feel like we're blessed with the best, but we've got to talk about not only our SHN family, but the Georgetown Eagle staff as well. We are blessed with the best all around here in the community of Georgetown. With that being said, I'll send it back up to Galen Wellnicki, and Cole Smith is going to get a little microphone time tonight as I make my way back up. So, gentlemen, right back up to you in the booth.
Well, Galen, what a game.
It was a good game, and it was long, and it probably wasn't the smoothest played game of all. When you have 6 walks in 1 inning, and only you score all those runs with just 1 hit in that 1 inning.
And Grayson back-to-back pitches hitting the Connally batters really gave the Cougars the edge on top of the second, causing them to take the lead. But of course, the Eagles strike back during the bottom of the second to tie it up.
And we put the big innings together, and it's a disappointing end for the Cougars.
Yeah.
Because they finished now 5-11. They finished. So their finish will depend on what Cedar Creek did tonight in their game with. Let's see, they're playing Hutto. So.
Yeah. One of my favorite plays of that was Seaback, whenever he caught that second base caught, but he was actually like in center field.
Yeah.
By the time he caught it, wow, it was an amazing leap.
And hopefully, and they'll be in a different district next year. Connally will be. So hopefully they can rejuvenate their baseball program a little bit. I know I've heard their numbers are down. I was told today by somebody who knows all the programs around here that their numbers have been down. But that's one good thing, and
the sophomores and juniors on Georgetown really stepped it up, though.
They do, and
I think it'll be a pretty great season next year.
They do a great job of bringing these players in Georgetown, of bringing these players along. It's kind of a stair step.
Coaching is great. Wow, what a game!
You got three guys out here. You're not sticking assistant football coaches or assistant basketball coaches over.
Oh no!
You got 3 real baseball coaches here working with a varsity.
Mm-hmm.
And every one of them was a good baseball player. One played in the minor leagues. Foster and Vieira are both good high school ball players. And I believe Foster and Vieira both played in college. Rob is. You can't. I don't think you can read that as much chicken scratch as we had to do in that game.
I don't think so either. I was looking at all the Georgetown great batting they did tonight.
you know, when you score 15 runs on 8 hits, you know, something had to, with all those walks and hit batsmen, and
something had to do with the RBIs.
Cole, I'll just leave you on the broadcast, man. You know, you've been with us all season and getting to have a little airtime as well. But, man, thank you for your hard work up here this season.
Yes, sir.
I know the
Appreciate it.
playoff games are going to be, you know, a lot of audio-only games, but you're still more than welcome to come out and join us if you can get away to some of them.
Oh, I will.
But exciting, man. Good camera work out there. Your thoughts? You know, your first season here working with us at Georgetown. Tell us, Cole, your thoughts on this season.
First season at Georgetown. Well, I mean, it was one of the greatest seasons that I sat through the whole thing. I sat through 18 wins and some close games. Great guys, great team, great coaching, great job, SHN Sports. I really enjoyed it, and
Awesome.
Can't wait for next year.
Well, I know you, of course, went to school in Gerald, Texas. A lot of friends
I
up
did.
in Gerald.
I did.
And, you know, the first year that we covered Gerald in football under Tony Brown, I mean, that team ran crazy. I think they went 11-0 before losing the playoff game, their second game in the playoffs. But, you know, hopefully here at Georgetown with you being here with us, the good luck will continue. We'll continue to win in the playoffs, man. So.
Oh, it will. It will. I think the juniors and sophomores right now are really going to step up, especially with great coaching behind them. I can't wait.
Well, Cole, we're excited about it. Galen, any final closing remarks before we head off tonight?
we got this break here and here. The one thing you got to guard against with this break, you can't get stale, and that's the bad thing about it.
Yep.
This other district's going to play Friday night, and they're probably going to have to play against Saturday to determine who the playoff positions are going to be. Because as Adam said, it very easily, with a couple upsets, could end up with 4 teams tying for second, which means they'd have to play a tournament of some kind on Saturday because their season doesn't end until Friday.
So there could be a long break in store. Galen, good points there as always. Been an honor and a privilege and a blessing to work with you this season. We'll keep it rolling throughout the playoffs. Cole, final closing remarks from you, young man.
I think Georgetown playing back-to-back on Monday and Tuesday. I think them playing another back-to-back playoff game is going to be, I think they're just going to knock it out of the park. So I can't wait for a playoff game.
So 9 games, 9 days of rest, I believe. Then we'll get back somewhere around that. Georgetown tonight, 19 games in a row now. They already hit the record at 18, now at 19. But now the ones that really matter starting in the playoffs. Galen, again, been a privilege this season. Cole, awesome as well. And I got to be a little bit, just say it how it is. Cole's my cousin, so, appreciate the fine work of Cole Smith. He gets his good looks after me, Cole. So,
I guess
our family, we get the curly hair, and Cole's got it as well. So
mine's a little curlier, though. But
Cole got a beautiful little girl now, and
yes,
some
sir,
awesome stuff and great things going on in your life. Nathan, appreciate you all season. Nathan Height doing wonderful work up here directing for us, and also down on the field. Of course, last but not least, the fireman. Give it up for him, Mr. David England down there on the field. David, we appreciate you as well this season. Again, Georgetown victorious tonight, 15-4. With that, remember, friends, we're not strong enough alone to make it our own. We need each other, so provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there tonight needs you. Again, thank you for tuning in this season. We will be in the playoffs. Make sure to join us on SHN Sports throughout the playoff run and check out EFND_baseball for the latest in what's happening. Until then, God bless and good night. Your happy final score from Georgetown, 15. Georgetown wins over Connally to 4. Good night from Georgetown.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Hipp Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Hipp Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Hipp Network and SHN Sports.